Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Starting game.
We're rocking and rolling. Boom,
Here we go.
Also.
Hey! Am I supposed to be male or female? I assume female. I've seen an armed girl running toward me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw.
I'm several of my friends are friends.
Okay. Yeah, let's run away. Always run away. That's the answer to everything. I just saw an item in front of the
crosswalk. You just got railroaded. Just got railroaded by the plot.
Oh god. Ah! She already scared me. Ah! That's horrifying. Those eyes. Ah! I slept again! Oh boy! But I caught you this time! Oh, so nice. Of course I was. Mitchie's. I'm gonna laugh every time I see that name. Just warning you now. One more that, one more that. Fine, fine. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean even whatever you say, Sayori. Hee. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Michi-san, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you already, I'm not really interested in joining any clubs. How dare you?
Judging by this game, it's going to be the Lonely Club.
I haven't been looking either. Hey, that's not true. You told me you would join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did, in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Sayori likes to worry too much about me, when I'm perfectly content just getting on by the average. What? While spending my free time on games and anime. Well, I like games. That's a start. Uh-huh. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know? And I know you're happy now, but I die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years, because you're not used to... Before they had yeet, they had NEET.
Mitch, do you know what a NEET is?
No, tell me.
It's not engaged in employment or training. Like someone who's doing nothing with their life, like they're not working or in school.
This game already knows who I am in real life.
You're in school.
I'm in school. I'm doing stuff, okay? Don't judge me. Don't make me keep worrying about you. Alright. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy, you bitch. No promises, though. Will you at least promise me you'll try a little? No, I'll try a lot. Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yay!
No promises. Come on.
I'm contradicting myself. Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside of her head. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before you know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs! I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Oh god, I'm not looking forward to this at all. Hello? Sayori, are you the only club member? Sayori must have come to this classroom while I was spacing out. I looked around and realized I'm the only one left in the classroom. Now she's gonna stab us to death or something, I just know it. I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting there and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait for me if it's going to make you late to your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, you know what? Then you could come to my club! Sayori? Yeah? There is no way I'm going to your stupid, horrible, disgusting club. Yeah! Meanie! Sayori is vice president of the Literature Club.
Right.
All they read
Sure.
are horror books, and we're gonna have to be implanted in one. I'm just trying to figure out how this game becomes a horror. I'm just want to know.
They start reading Lovecraft novels.
Yes.
Cthulhu comes out.
Yes. I hope we fight Cthulhu as the end boss of the game. Not that I was ever aware that she had any interest in literature. It's a trap. We can't repel literature of that magnitude. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to start a new club.
Maybe she thought it would look good on her university applications.
Oh yeah, we don't want to be a NEET. We don't want that. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title Vice President. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Weebo. Come on, please.
Sorry, your name is Michi-san. I'm sure that's... you don't say.
Michi-san! Why do you care so much anyway? Well, I kind of told the club yesterday I would bring in a new member. Oh, she roped us into this. Well, he over there roped me into this. And Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Don't make promises you can't keep. I can't tell if Sawyer is reading that much of an airhead or if she's so cunning as to have planned all this out. I let out a long sigh. Fine, I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yes, let's go! And thus today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. Nobody knew that it was so literal.
Yuri too, she's actually the devil and you legitimately did sell your soul for a cupcake.
Exactly, that's not subtext, that's true. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school, and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities.
Lior, are you getting flashbacks to that top floor of CPH?
Well,
Because that long hallway reminds me of where 3601 was.
yeah.
References. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone, the new club member is here. I told you, don't call me a new member, yo ho. I glanced around the room. Welcome to the Liturgy Club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayori always says nice things about you. Seriously? You brought up... Oh, I am a boy. I totally thought I was a girl. Okay. Doesn't really matter, though. Of course it doesn't. Gender is a social construct. Seriously, you brought a boy. Way to kill the atmosphere. Oh, you sexist pig. You sexist piece of crap. Ah, Michi-san. What a nice surprise, Girl 3. Thank you, Girl 3. Welcome to the club. Why, thank you. Except I'm not a member yet. Tell me what the club's all about. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. What are you looking at? Oh, you know.
Don't answer this question honestly.
Just a couple things over here. Maybe something over this way. No. If you want to say something, say it. Sorry.
No stutter.
Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is the one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. She's also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayori. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly into my ear and then turns back towards the other girls. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Ah well, it's nice to meet both of you. And it sounds like you already know Monica, is that right? That's right. It's great to see you again, Michi-san. Monica smiles sweetly. Aww. Careful there, your skirts. It has a mind of its own. We don't know each other. Well, we rarely talk, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic, basically completely out of my league. Aw, don't put yourself down, bro. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... You too, Monica. Come sit down, Michi-san. We made room for you at the table, so you can sit next to me or Monica. But there's like 50 tables. What do you mean you made room? I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I just get a little too excited.
Is it just me that they all have the same face?
Yeah. There's only one anime face for both male and female. Then how about I make some tea as well? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sori mentioned, it's been widened so that there's one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a sit next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Ooh. Ooh. I don't know. How do you make that sound, guys?
Whoa!
Whoa! Natsuki lifts the foil of the tray off the tray to reveal a dozen white fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. The whiskers are drawn with icing, and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. So cute! I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki! Well, you know. Just hurry and take one! Sora grabs one first, then Monica. I follow. It's delicious! Sori walks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. Where? They didn't show that. Why didn't they not show it? I want to see the cupcake. Fine. It's not immersive. It's not an immersive game, guys. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. It's definitely drugged. Is it drugged? Odds that it's drugged. This is really good. Tastes like chloroform. Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like I haven't I heard this somewhere. Made them for you or anything. I thought you technically did, Sayori said. Well, maybe, but not for you know, you, dummy. Alright. I gave up Natsuki's weird logic and dismissed the conversation. Yuri returns to the table, carrying a tea set.
Protagonist to be socially oblivious.
Yeah, he's not very observant.
Player to identify with them.
Point.
She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not. Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know. I believe you. Well, tea and reading might be a pastime for me, but at least I enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. So what made you consider the Literature Club? Well, I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica that I was practically dragged here by Sayori.
I haven't my socially oblivious comments.
I haven't joined any clubs yet.
You'd have been like, oh, Sayori made me.
And Sayori seemed really happy here, so that's okay, don't be embarrassed. We'll make you feel right at home, okay? As president of the Literature Club, it's my duty to make sure the club is fun and exciting for everyone. Monica, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the debate club last year? Well, you know. To be honest, I can't really stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about budget and publicly and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monica is really a great leader. Yuri also nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events, like the festival, that much more important. I'm confident we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah! We'll do our best. You know it! Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard to find these three. Maybe that's why they were all so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So, Mitchell-san?
Cubist sisters, or something like that.
What
like all witches or something.
Witches of Albany. What kind of things do you like to read, Warhammer? Well, considering how little these guys don't know me at all. Considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga? Oh god. I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me, and telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of... Oh god, here it starts. So it begins, boys, so it begins. I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasped something I can relate to at the minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Really, I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you, I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think, or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down! Surreal horror is all very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. I hate horror! Oh, why's that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, usually I like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called Don't Say It! Out Loud! And gives that back. Fine. Your cupcakes, your poems, everything you do is just as cute as you are. Sayori slats up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. I'm not cute! Natsuki, you write your own poems? You really do sometimes? Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them with me sometime? No! Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess if it's the same for Yuri. I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay, I have an idea, everyone. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monica. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then, next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Yeah, let's do it. Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it will help us get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Michi-san?
They're witches.
Totally, yeah. Monica smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, there's still one problem. Eh? What's that? Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Sayori may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and I lose my train of thought. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But, I'm sorry, I thought... Michi-san, you all... I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the Literature Club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Yes! Yes! I'm so happy! Suri wants to wrap her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey! You really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came for the cupcakes, I would be super pissed. Then that makes it official. Welcome to the Literature Club. Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monica looks over at me once more. Michi-san, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat and Yuri's Nasukan clean up their food.
Nasukan.
Hey Michi-san, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? That's right. Sayori and I never walk home together anymore because she always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay! Well, with that, the two of us depart the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll finally have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Why only one? I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. I really hope it doesn't actually make us write a poem. No, it's gonna make us write a poem. God damn it. You know what my least favorite subject in school was? Poetry.
Which girl do you want to like you?
Also, I know that there's no Monica.
I don't remember any of their personalities, so I'm gonna go completely based on appearance. Let's go with the purple hair. Purple hair.
Yeah, she's gonna like bad things. Like
everything is in disarray in my life. I've been defeated over and over again. This existence is just a hellscape of my own making. Life is a tragedy. I despise everybody except myself. I wish everybody except me would explode.
Go with sensation here.
This sensations are meaningless. I'm proud of my scars. I'm going to turn our school into an inferno. They will feel my wrath. And I lust for purple hair. We're all going to die from entropy anyway. We all must flee this planet. I've contaminated this entire game with my grief. Everything's hopeless, and we'll turn into a massacre one day. And I know this will eventually be a horror game somehow. I forget what this word means.
Which one?
Incongruent. It means not at the same time? Or something? I don't know. Shiny, smile, heart. I want to stab you. No, fear. Hi again, Michi-san. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Do most people run away for some reason? Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least I keep my word. Well, I'm back at the Literature Club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Michi-san. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you, making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. Sarah told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year, too. I don't know if you just plan to come here and hang out or what. But if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature! Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Michi-san always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Sayori, that's because your room is so messy it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once. Is that so? You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come you and Michi-san can be good friends too? Sayori. As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into. Oh. Yuri even brought you something today, you know? Wait, Sayori? Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri. I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue this situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place, so any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a horror book, right? Please, for the love of God, make this stop. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, you know, discuss it if you wanted. How's this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew! Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression like she's waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki's rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of the book. It looks like the same book she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Crap! I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me and our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I mutter this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this song. That's the book you gave to me, right? I wanted to read some of it, not for any particular reason. Just curious, how do you have 2 copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday. That's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decide to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about anyway? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Alright. I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships, and her life starts to fall apart. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Okay, that wasn't a very gentle giggle, but fine. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Michi-san? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy these kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri's into these things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems so completely different. It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals or their own philosophy that they believe in, then suddenly when you thought you related to the protagonist, they're made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals intervene with the villain's plans. I'm rambling again, aren't I?
Did we just get a motive
Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club, after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. What are you saying? Just a moment ago, you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieve the book that I put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah! Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means by reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. So sorry. I was just... Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do. She better say sorry again. I don't really mean to. Sorry, there you go. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk up until it's against Yuri's and hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean a little bit closer, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead my right hand is holding my book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and her forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer to one another than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? Yeah. To turn the page. Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do. Since you've been so patient with me. Yeah? Thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. Oh god, I see where this is going. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second-guesses all of the things that she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like you can see into her head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remains silent for a moment. But Michi-san, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. It's so embarrassing. Ooh, wait, what was the noise again? Give me another rundown. Ooh! That's so embarrassing that you think that. But wait, I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I more meant that it's kind of cute. Oh! What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. I think it's about time we shared today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's not. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright. I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know? That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first two chapters in your own time. Alright. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait! Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Who should I show my poem to first? Monica's the purple-haired one, right? No, that's
Purple
Yuri?
one's Yuri.
Yuri. Yuri seems the most experienced, so I should start with her. I can trust her opinion to be fair. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional! Eh? What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. Do you think they always say exceptional no matter what you pick? Probably.
No, we picked it deliberately for her, right?
Yeah.
So maybe not?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
So, wait, well, what I was curious about, actually, mechanical-wise, I didn't catch the start of the poem sequence. Did we pick her specifically to impress, and that's why the scene today was with her? Or would the scene today with her have happened regardless of who we were trying to impress with the poem?
I don't know.
We'll find out later.
Oh, I forgot to say what I was... I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Why, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem, as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers, and having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most notable things I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor really changes. Her stammering is completely gone and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little biased, though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to self, or me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. It must be this one. Oh, I missed the first part. Ghost under the light. The last remaining street light to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing air of the present but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. I'm sorry to have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. No, it didn't. Ah. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Eh? That's a relief. Yeah? I liked the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest, since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Uh-huh. Hoo-hoo. Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Michi-san. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you only did glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in a last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. Eh? It's nothing, really. Yours was impressive, too. Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end, I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna keep doing my best for you, Michi-san. Me too. Oh, god damn it. We have to go through everybody. Hi, Michi-san. Having
Predictions
a
on
good time
whether
so
she
far?
likes it?
She's not gonna like
She's
it.
no. She's gonna hate it. Yeah. Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Ahahaha! Don't worry, Michi-san. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. Great job, Michi-san! I was doing woo in my head while I was reading it. It's really metaphorical. She really likes it. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easier for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way I'll always count when I put in some effort. Ahahaha, that's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked. Anyway, you know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Unlike Sayori, who likes using simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness. Yuri likes it when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write like that effectively, both allowing people to get something out of it by just feel, or letting them deeply analyze all of the nuances. It can take years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. I never really asked, though. I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet. Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and learn by trying new things. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the new kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased towards their own kind of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Anyway, don't you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not very good. How's that confident? Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't really mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in wall. It couldn't have been me. See the direction the sparkle protrudes. A noisy neighbor? An angry boyfriend? I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No! I can't see. I reel. Blind. Like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retina's already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. Oh wait, you can scroll down. Could you have done that with the other poem? It was too deep, stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realized now that I wasn't looking in, I was looking out, and he, on the other side, was looking in.
So you said Cthulhu, right?
Yeah. I hope so. I love Lovecraft stuff. So what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of feedback has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that some kind of epiphany recently has been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about Steve's deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with one another. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up for later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Michi-san, if you're not going to take this club seriously, then go home. What? Harsh. What, you expect me to believe that you actually put effort into this? Do you think I'm stupid? I'm not a writer. Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put in effort. We all start somewhere, right? If you're still proud of the first poem we ever wrote, then I'd like to read it. Painful to think about? Fine. Well, sorry. You'll get better anyway. I tell you what to improve, but you're better off just trying again. Fair enough? Well, to each their own, I guess. Anyways, I gotta share mine now. Knowing you, you'll probably think it's stupid. What an asshole. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly. People can try, but that's about it. So deep. Yeah, I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. No, I don't. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I won't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff, so people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening, so I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something today. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did ya? Yeah, guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki feels proud, then I won't take that away from her. This is a good poem, Michi-san. Are you sure it's your first time? Of course. It's not that good. I'm the kind of guy who would be writing poems. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time? I guess you're right. But that's why it pressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously, or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy that you wrote one. It reminds me of how you're really part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before, Michi-san. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things like this for other people. That's something that only really good people can do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined, knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah, and I'm just gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That will be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm going to hold you to that then. Yay! Now you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. We'll see about that. Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you miss me, kissing my forehead to help me to bed. Make me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wash away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever, but I'm not mad. I want breakfast!
Vampire?
Sayori.
Dude, you want breakfast?
This is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No. Just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least that makes me feel a little better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Yeah. I didn't mean to say it was a bad poem. It just came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah. Especially that last line. I made eggs and toast. Even though you were late to school? It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. This was so much fun. Monica's the best. Yeah. But next time I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever. I guess I look forward to it. I'm just going to the bathroom, guys. 30 seconds.
Alright.
Sounds good. So, Ghost, Vampire, and what are the other two? Theoretically speaking, based on their poems.
Breakfast one is probably one a vampire?
I would think, like, if I had to guess, yes. You know, if it weren't for the sunshine, I could sleep forever.
Right.
Then again, I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Because if
totally vampire.
That's smart. Big green is that.
Back. Phew! I guess that's everyone. I glanced around the room. That was a little bit more stressful than I anticipated. This is everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Ah, thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something, you bitch? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Michi-san did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Michi-san liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh, why'd the music stop? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri.
Boing.
That's not what I... Ooh. Wait, how do you do that one? I can't... you guys are so much better at that one than me. You guys do it. You're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Michi-san appreciates my advice more than he appreciates yours, okay? I'm sorry, okay? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? I know. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs...
Did they?
I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger.
Hold up.
I mean, we've only been here since Michi-san started showing up. We didn't know.
As soon as Michi-san started showing up, Natsuki. I'm Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. I don't like fighting, guys. Suddenly, both girls turned towards me as if they just noticed I was standing there. Michi-san, she's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. If she could just get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point in making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Michi-san, help me. Oh, wait. There's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning the most effectively. Avoiding them is only unnecessarily limiting yourself. It's also a waste. What, shit, I missed one. You understand that, right, Michi-san? Well... how did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing, but whoever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. Natsuki, you're right that I liked your poem. See? Wait! That's not an excuse for you to be so mean. You shouldn't pick a fight just because someone's opinion is different. That's not what happened at all. Yuri wouldn't even take my poem seriously. I understand. Yuri? You're a seriously talented writer. It's no secret that I was impressed. Well, that's... But here's the thing. No matter how simple or refined someone's writing style is, they're still putting feelings into it, and it becomes something really personal. That's why Natsuki feels threatened when you said her poem was cute. I see. I didn't notice that. I'm sorry. Woo, woo, woo. But Natsuki, you took it way too far. Yuri means well, and if you just told her how you felt, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. Are you kidding? That's exactly what I did. It was her that... Natsuki, I think that's enough. You both said something that you didn't mean. Yuri apologized, don't you think you should too? Natsuki clenches her fists. In the end, nobody has taken her side. She's trapped, at this point being defined only because she can't handle the pressure. I end up even feeling bad for her.
So, like, do we flip a coin and then based on the outcome, you're either like a social wizard or completely clueless?
Yeah. Sometimes when I'm hurt, it helps to take a walk and clear my head. Sorry, she doesn't need to. You know what? I'm going to do that. It'll spare me from having to look at your faces right now. Without warning, Natsuki snatches her poem up from the desk and storms out. On her way out, she crumples up the poem with her hands and throws it in the trash. Natsuki surely didn't need to do that. I look across the room. Yuri has her chin buried in her hands while she stares down at her desk. I gingerly approach her and sit in an adjacent chair. Sigh. Everything alright? I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe I acted like that. You probably hate me now. No, Yuri! How could anyone not have gotten frustrated after being treated like that? You handled it as well as anyone could. I don't think any less of you. Well, alright, I believe you. Thanks, Michi-san. You're too kind. I'm thankful to have you a part of this club now. It's nothing. One more thing. That one thing that Natsuki said about, I would never do anything so shameful. So, what thing did Natsuki say? Well, never mind that. I'm gonna make some tea. Good idea. Make enough for more than one person, okay? Yeah! Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say it was worth it. It was alright, well, mostly. Michi-san, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a nice thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome! In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. Or maybe you've learned something from your friends too. So your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself. I did learn a little more about the kind of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can with any luck, that means I can do... Why can I not say the sentence? With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. Done. I nod to myself with newfound determination. Michi-san, ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Hee. Sayori beams up at me. It truly has been a while since Sayori and I have spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Anyone else getting impatient? I'm getting impatient. Sayori, what happened earlier? What do you want? Between Yuri and Natsuki, does that kind of thing happen often? No. That's really the first time I've seen them fight like that. I promise they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you? No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I can see why they'd make good friends with you. Phew! Michi-san, it's nice that I get to spend time with you in the club. But I think seeing you along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. And I think everyone really likes you too. That's... Every day is going to be so much fun. It looks like Sayori still hasn't caught on to the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? We'll just have to see what the future holds, Sayori. I put Sayori on the shoulder. Pat. I said that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to use Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes. Okay. Yeah. Let's do this. Leroy. Wait, I have to write another one?
We gotta pick words. Craig's here now. He just woke up.
Uncontrollable. Or prayer, one of the two.
We definitely want to pick the darkest words, right?
Probably.
What's darker, uncontrollable or disoriented?
This one like horror stuff, so it's gonna be better.
Uncontrollable or disoriented, what's darker?
Uncontrollable. She's like a werewolf or something.
Probably. No, this one, I thought her poem was about ghosts.
Yeah, I guess so. Breathe. Ambient.
Unrestrained.
Graveyard.
Empty. Or atone.
Atone, yeah, atone.
Brightening? Oh no, it should have been incongruent.
Yeah, I'll do last.
Anime is horrifying to me, but Fester's better.
Anime. Should have done anime. Anime skirt.
Oh, spicy one there.
Free. Pain. Unending pain.
It doesn't fill anything in though. We're writing a poem, and we pick which words to use in our poem, and then we should pick the lady.
Another day passes and it's time for the club meeting already. I've gotten a little more comfortable here over the past couple of days. Entering the club room, the usual scene greets me. Hi, Michi-san! Yo, Sayori. Looks like you're in a good mood today. I'm just still not used to being in the club, that's all. I see. That's a pretty simple thing to get you in a good mood. But I guess it's always the simple thing with you anyway. Speaking of which, I'm kinda hungry. Will you come with me to buy a snack? No thanks. Ah!
No thank you. You're a snack, Sayori.
That's not like you at all. I have my reasons. Why don't we take a look at your purse, Sayori? Why that all of a sudden? No reason really. I just wanted to look at it. Sayori nervously retrieves her coin purse. She fumbles with the latch and gets it open. Then she turns it upside down and lets its contents spill out onto the desk. Only 2 small coins fall out. I knew it. I can see right through you, Sayori. That's not fair. How did you even know? It's simple. If you had enough money in the first place, you would have bought a snack before coming to the club room. So either you're not hungry and want an excuse to take a walk, or you plan to conveniently forget that you spent all your money so that I would lend you some. But there's one more thing. You're always hungry. And so that only leaves one option.
So was that social wizard or social clueless?
Why not both? I give up! Don't make me feel guilty! If you feel guilty, that means you deserve to feel guilty. Yuri suddenly giggles. Eh? I didn't notice that she was listening in. Her face is in her book, as always. Aha! I wasn't listening or anything. It was just something in my book. Yuri? Tell Michi-san to let me borrow some money. Don't get me involved like that, Sayori. Besides, you should only buy what you can responsibly afford. And frankly, after pulling a mischievous little stunt like your suffering is fair enough retribution. Oh.
Did I didn't mean that. I just got too absorbed in my book. Woo!
I really like when you speak your mind, Yuri. It doesn't happen much, but it's a fun side of you. There's no way you could think that. You were right, though. I did something bad, and now I have to accept the retribution. That. Still coming from you, Sayori. I guess there's a little devil inside of us all, isn't there? Don't let her fool you. Sayori knows exactly what she's doing. After all, she told you guys she was bringing me to the club before she even told me. But you wouldn't have come if it weren't for the cupcakes. So I had to trick Natsuki into making them. Come on, give me more credit than that, Sayori.
What?
Out of nowhere, someone smacks her in the face and tumbles onto the desk.
Ow! What was... A cookie!
Sure enough, it's a giant cookie wrapped in plastic. Sayori glances around.
Is this a miracle?
It's because I paid my restitution. Retribution. Actually, that one almost worked.
I was just gonna give it to you.
But then I heard you blab about cupcakes. I was totally worth seeing your reaction though. Natsuki, that's so nice of you. I'm so happy. Sayori hugs the cookie. Jeez, just eat it. Sayori rapidly tears into the wrapper and takes a big bite. Show. Oof. Sayori suddenly clasped her hand down over her mouth. I bit my tongue. You're going through a lot over just one cookie. Natsuki takes a bite of her own cookie. Ah, yours is really good too, Natsuki. Can I try it? Jeez, beggars can't be choosers. But yours is just chocolate. Yeah, well, why do you think I gave you that one? Fine. Still, I'm really happy that you shared this one with me. Sayori gets out of her seat and goes behind Natsuki, then wraps her arms around her. Ah, jeez. I get it. Cookie still in hand, Natsuki reaches up to nudge Sayori offer. Yum, 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 yum. Sayori suddenly leans down and takes a bite out of Natsuki's cookie. Hey! Did you seriously just do that? Mirthful Sayori trots away to safety. Yuri and I laugh as well. Geez, you're such a kid sometimes. Monica, can you tell Sayori? Natsuki glances around. Monica isn't in the club room. Ugh. Where's Monica anyway? Good question. Have any of you heard anything about her being late today? Not me. Yeah, I haven't either. That's a bit unusual. I hope she's okay. Of course she's okay. She probably just had something to do today. She's pretty popular after all. Yeah? You don't think she has a... I wouldn't be surprised. She's probably more desirable than all of us combined. Hehehe, that's true. Excuse me? Suddenly, the door swung open. Sorry! I'm super sorry. Ah, there you are. I didn't mean to be late. I hope you guys weren't worried or anything. Monica chose the club over her boyfriend after all. You're so strong-willed. Boyfriend? What on earth are you talking about? Monica quizzically glances at me. Ah, never mind that. What held you up anyway? Well, my last period... I thought I read that differently at first. Well, my last period today was study hall. To be honest, I kind of just lost track of time. Well, that makes no sense, though. You'd have heard the bell ring at least. I must not have heard it, since I was practicing piano.
Piano? I wasn't aware you played music as well, Monica. I don't really. I kind of just started recently. I've always wanted to learn piano. That's so cool. You should play something for us, Monica. Monica looks at me. Maybe once I get a little better, I will. Yay! That sounds cool. I'd also look forward to it. Is that so? In that case, I won't let you down, Michi-san. Monica smiles sweetly. I didn't put any pressure or anything like that. Don't worry. I've been practicing a whole lot recently, and I'd really love the chance to share once I'm ready. I see. In that case, best of luck. Thanks. So I didn't miss anything, did I? No, not really. I chose to leave out Sorori's mischievous escapade. I'm sure Natsuki will end up complaining to her anyway. Looks like everyone's already settled down. Sorori somehow already finished her entire cookie. Yuri's back to her book and Natsuki disappeared into the closet. Hey, Yuri. I suddenly noticed that Yuri is reading a different book from the one we've been reading together. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. No. I was kind of just waiting for you. And if that's the case, why not just go ahead and get started? Yes, let's. Actually, I have a request. Do you mind if I make some tea first? Not at all. Thanks very much. If there's one thing that can make my reading time here any better, it's a nice cup of tea. Not to mention for yourself as well. Yuri stands up and makes her way to the closet. I follow and watch as she retrieves a small water pitcher from the shelf, the kind with a filter inside. Can you hold this for a second? Sure. Yuri hands me the water pitcher and also fetches an electric kettle. I'm going to plug this in at the teacher's desk, and then we'll go get some water. She walks past me and sets the kettle down on the teacher's desk. I simply watch her movements. To my surprise, the way she moves really contrasts her speaking mannerisms. Especially because of her long legs, Yuri appears elegant and methodical. Okay, may I have the water pitcher? Thanks, I'll be right back. I might as well walk with you. Yeah, why not? Shall we go then? Yeah. Where are you two off to? Yuri was going to make some tea, so... I suddenly realized how weird it sounds explaining this to Monica. We're just filling the water pitcher. Okay. Sorry, I was just a little curious. That's kind of a one-person job, isn't it? That's... Monica, please mind your own business, for once. Or do you want me to tell you there's something wrong with helping involve Michi-san in club activities? My mouth gapes. I suppose there's nothing wrong with that. Then let's go, Michi-san. Yuri quickly exits the room and I follow. Once in the hallway, she suddenly puts her forehead against the wall. I spoke without thinking. How could I say something like that? Yuri, something wrong. Something about the way she said that. It made me feel so irritated. What's wrong with me? No, Yuri. I think you did the right thing. I wasn't expecting it, but it's not also not right for Monica to judge people like that. Just checking something. One sec. Okay, we're fine. It's also not right for Monica to judge people like that. Michi-san, how come even when I do something bad, you're being nice to me? Because nothing that you do is as bad as you make it seem in your head. Nobody's perfect. We have emotions and we can't always hide them away, but you always amplify things in your head. Your mind turns a light rain shower into a hurricane. Ha! No. Wouldn't you hate me for something as terrible as that? Why would I hate you? I can't hate someone for having emotions. What kind of friend would do that? Friend, you say?
Wait a minute. Okay, this has been bugging me. I need an opinion. Are her boobs getting bigger day by day?
It's possible.
I've seen Japanese horror games where that becomes a plot device. So...
Because every time I look at the bottle, it seems slightly different, and I'm like, what could it be?
Yuri lifts her head.
Possible. Okay, we'll see.
Michi-san,
I really like being friends with you. Thanks, Yuri. I like being friends with you too. I feel kind of awkward saying something like that, but I'm doing my best to help Yuri feel better. Anyway, yeah. Shall we go? Yeah. Yuri and I walked to the nearest water fountain. Once we filled up the water pitcher, we returned to the classroom. Michi-san, do you like oolong tea? Yeah. Anything is fine. Very well. Yuri sets the temperature on the kettle to 200 degrees. Now it's time to get the teapot. You really do this properly, don't you? Of course. I shouldn't do any less when I'm making tea for others, even if I'm not an expert on tea or anything. Hoo-hoo. In that case, you'll only be even more impressed. Perhaps I will. Yuri fetches the teapot and begins measuring the tea leaves. To my surprise, she even starts humming a little to herself. You must be in a good mood now. Is that so? I was letting it show. And you noticed. I was doing a bit of thinking, and I decided that I would try expressing myself a little more. It turns out it's not very hard for me to do, when it's you who's around anyway. That's great, Yuri. Just don't push yourself too much. You're always worrying about me, Michi-san. It's very endearing. Yuri wasn't kidding. I don't even know if I can keep up with this. I watched Yuri pour a cup of tea for each of us. Michi-san, I have another request. Do you mind if we sit on the floor today? Why is that? It's a little bit easier on my back. I can read with my back against the wall rather than bending over at my desk. Sorry, I didn't realize. No worries. I just have back pain fairly regularly, so I do my best to manage it. Well, I mean, I've had people say their boobs cause them back pain. So
I was going to say, this seems like it might be backing my theory.
Is that so? I wonder why that is. It's most likely because your posture, right? Always hunched over like that while reading. Yes, I have terrible reading posture. So that's why we should sit on the floor. Fair enough. I'll go ahead and get the book. I retrieve the book from my bag. I have some chocolate as well. It's a bag of small chocolate candies that I keep hidden from Sayori's candy radar. I take it, since it will go well with the tea. Yuri and I then sit against the wall, teacups on our side. As if in sync, we assume the same reading position as last time, each holding over one half of the book. Except this time, our bodies are even closer to each other. I can't see too well. Yuri slides closer until our shoulders are touching. How am I supposed to focus on reading like this?
No one told me that this was going to be a lewd game.
Yuri is always kind of... All Japanese anime games are lewd in some way. When she's being less apprehensive, it's always more than I can handle. Your teacup. Yuri hands me my teacup. Holding it within my hand, that's not holding the book, I end up in a position that makes it even harder to focus, because now I need to worry about making sure I don't accidentally touch her chest. Meanwhile, Yuri hasn't noticed a single thing. She wears her intense reading expression. I can only presume the world around her has faded away. I use all my willpower to focus on reading. After a few minutes, I finally manage to relax a little. I put the teacup between my legs and fumble with the chocolate wrapper. Sorry. I briefly let go of the book to finish opening the wrapper. You can have as much as you want. That's okay. I won't take any. Are you sure? Well, if I touch it, then I might get smudges on the pages. You're right. I didn't even think about that. My bad.
I see where this is going.
No need to apologize. I'll hold the book, okay? Are you sure? I want chocolate now. I'm getting chocolate. Of course. Yuri opens the book with both hands. She holds it that I can't have any harder of a time reading from it. But as a result, her left arm is practically resting on top of my leg. Well, in that case, Yuri's already totally focused on reading again. I take a chocolate candy and pop it in my mouth, just like real life. And then I take another chocolate, just like real life, pop that into my mouth.
And feed it to Yuri.
No, you're all with me.
As predicted.
She doesn't even look away from the book. She simply parts her lips as if the situation was completely natural. But that means I can't stop here. I apprehensively place the chocolate in her mouth. Just like that, Yuri closes her lips over it. Eh? Yuri's expression suddenly breaks. Did I just... Yuri looks at me like she needs to confirm what just happened. Michi-san. Sorry. I guess I shouldn't have done that. That's... Well... You were just helping. That's something that friends do. Right? I mean... Not really in this kind of context, but... Yeah. That's all it was. Yeah. Then... You don't need to stop or anything. I see. The situation's gone really tense. Yuri tries to return to the book, but I can tell just by her expression that she can't even focus now. My heart is pounding. I nervously take another chocolate between my fingers, but this time Yuri's eyes meet mine. How did it even come to this? Yuri doesn't avert her gaze. I notice her chest rising, falling to the rim of her breaths. I raise my arm. Like before, Yuri parts her lips, but it's different this time. I take the chocolate and place it in her mouth. I feel her hot breath on my fingers.
10 minutes?
Whoa.
5, 10 minutes? No? Okay, one cookie.
Okay. Okay, everyone. Ooh, Ooh, wait. Ooh, Aha! Yuri jolts back. It's time to share poems. Michi-san, you can help Yuri put away the tea stuff, right? Yeah, of course. Okay, thanks. The spell is abruptly broken. I'll take care of the cups. Yeah. Yuri picks up the teacups from the floor. I pick up the bag of chocolates. In the end, we hastily clean up without as much as a word between us. I get the feeling this is something neither of us will have the courage to bring up. Who should I show my poem to first? Oh, come the hell on. No. 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 Hi again, Michi-san. How's the writing going? Alright, I guess. I'll take that, as long as it's not going bad. I'm happy that you're applying yourself. Maybe soon you'll come up with a masterpiece. I wouldn't count on that. You never know. I want to share what you wrote for today. Sure, here you go. I gave my poem to Monica. Alright, this one's good. It feels like you're not only getting more comfortable with your style, but the imagery is better than the last one I read. Just wondering, but have you been finding inspiration in Yuri's writing style? I guess so. You can't deny that she's talented. Yeah, totally. I think her poems are the most romantic. That's the best way to describe it. She's like a totally different person when she picks up a pen. I noticed that too. Or when she's talking about literature, it's like a light turns on inside her. Sadly, it's been really hard to get much personal conversation out of her. Trust me, I've tried. But who knows what goes on in that head of hers. I hope you don't mean that in a bad way. No, of course not. I just mean that I wish she didn't keep so much to herself. But still, defending her like that, you must be pretty into her. Eh? You completely misunderstood. Calm down, I'm kidding. Besides, I'm pretty sure she's already got a boyfriend. Oh, womp womp. Wait, really? Yeah, a fictional one anyway. Monica kind of whispers that last part to me. It's just a hunch, but... Well, there's not really anything wrong with that. Oh, well, I know. I was just saying. But anyway, you want to read my poem now? I like the way this one turned out, so I hope you do too. Alright, let's take a look. Save me. The colors, they won't stop. Bright, beautiful colors. Flashing, expanding, piercing. Red, green, blue, an endless cacophony of meaningless noise. The noise, it won't stop. Violent, grating, waveforms. Speaking, screeching, piercing. Sine, cosine, tangent. like playing a chalkboard on a turntable, like playing a vinyl on a pizza crust, an endless poem of meaningless. It's even more abstract than your last one, huh? I guess it's just the way I write. I'm sorry if you don't like it. No, I never said that. It's just kind of a thing I've never really seen before, I guess. I kind of like playing with my space on the paper. Choosing where and how to spread your words can totally change the mood of the poem. It's almost like magic. The way I wrote the lines really short makes it feel like they're trying to speak over the noise. I see. It's still hard for me to tell what it's all about, though. Sometimes asking what a poem is about isn't the right question. A poem can be as abstract as a physical expression of a feeling, or a conversation with the reader. So putting it that way, not every poem is about something. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes you'll find yourself facing a difficult decision. When that happens, don't forget to save your game. You never know when you might change your mind.
That sounds like a good cue.
Or when something unexpected may happen. Oh geez, I hope something unexpected doesn't happen and interrupt all this amazing dialogue and poetry. That would just break my heart if something happened. What is this even about writing? What am I even talking about? Can you guys tell that I'm dying inside after every line? That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. No. Make it stop. Let's see what you've written for today. Yuri stares at the poem with a surprised expression on her face. Do you like it? Michi-san? This one might be even better than yesterday's. So how did you even pick up on this so quickly? Just yesterday I was telling you the kind of techniques worth practicing. Maybe that's why. You did a good job explaining. I really wanted to try giving it more imagery. Yuri visibly swallows. Even her hands appear sweaty. I'm not used to this. Used to what? I don't know. It's fine, take your time. Yuri breathes and collects her thoughts. I know what Yuri likes to think before she speaks, so I offer that patience to her. Yeah, just being appreciated like this, I guess. It probably sounds really stupid, but seeing something motivated by my writing, it just makes me really happy. Are you saying you've never shared your writing before? Yuri nods. Really, I don't believe it. I really only write for myself, and besides, only people will just laugh at me. Do you really think that? Again, Yuri nods. Huh, even your close friends? Oh, Yuri doesn't respond to that. I wonder why. Anyway, do you want to share the poem you wrote today? Yeah, I do. If it's with you. The raccoon. It happened in the dead of night while I was slicing bread for a guilty snack. My attention was caught by the scuttling of a raccoon outside my window. That was, I believe, the first time I noticed my strange tendencies as an ordinary human. I gave the raccoon a piece of bread, my subconscious well aware of the consequences, aware that a raccoon that is fed will always come back for more. The enticing beauty of my cutting knife was the symptom, the bread my hungry curiosity, the raccoon an urge. The moon in sight increments its phase and reflects that much more light off of my cutting knife, the very same light that glistens in the eyes of my raccoon friend. I slice the bread fresh and soft. The raccoon becomes excited. Or perhaps I'm merely projecting my emotions onto the newly satisfied animal. The raccoon has taken to following me. You could say that we've gotten quite used to each other. The raccoon becomes hungry more and more frequently, so my bread is always handy. Every time I brandish my cutting knife, the raccoon shows me its excitement. A rush of blood, classic Pavlovian conditioning. I slice the bread, and I feed it myself again.
How metaphorical to the current situation.
I was a little more daring with this one than yesterday's. I can see that. It's a lot more metaphorical. I don't know if it's my fault, but I can't begin to imagine what this poem is about. That's right. It's a bit closer to my preferred writing style, using the poem as a canvas to express vivid imagery and conveying emotions through them. Yeah, if I take it at face value, then I can't even figure out what it's supposed to mean. Well, I think it's something that different people can relate to in their own way, and wanted to express the way it feels for me to indulge in my more unusual hobbies. It's those sort of things I'm usually forced to keep to myself, so I sometimes enjoy writing about them. Why do you keep them to yourself? But because they're embarrassing, and people will make fun of me. Don't you have anything like that, Michi-san? Well, yeah, I guess I do. I feel like everyone has a little something like that. The best we can do is respect each other and our individualities, even if it's difficult sometimes and some things make us uncomfortable. After all, if I hadn't learned to embrace my own weirdness, I would probably hate myself. I might be ranting a little bit now, but I'm glad that you're a good listener. You're good at a lot of things. Writing, listening. There really aren't many people like you, Michi-san. That's exaggerating a little bit. It's just how I feel. I never thought I would feel so comfortable sharing my writing, but now I almost look forward to it. It's just a really nice feeling, and you're to thank for that. It's nothing, really. Yuri smiles sincerely at me. For just a moment, her timidness seems to disappear. Well, I can admit that it's better than the last one. It's nice to see that you're putting in some effort. That's good. But I still don't like this at all. It's trying too hard to be serious. Yeah, what do you mean by that? Poems don't need to be all deep sounding to express something. It's going to just sound like you're forcing it unless you don't really suck at it. Honestly, don't bother trying writing this poems like this until you're on Yuri's level. Natsuki stopped short all of a sudden. Don't tell me. Eh? You're not just trying to impress Yuri, are you? What are you talking about? Keep your voice down. You know, Yuri would love this angsty. Just because she's a talented writer doesn't mean I mean. Looks like I'm in trouble. I somehow struck a nerve, though what I did is beyond me. I am so done with you. Natsuki shoves the poem I handed back over to me. Take your stupid poem. If you wrote it for someone else, just don't show it to me. Ouch. This is what I get for letting a younger girl step into my business. Unless I was a mind reader, I was destined to be in a world of pain from the start. At least Natsuki wasn't really the girl I was trying to impress in the first place. Ooh, I like this one, Michi-san. It has some nice feelings in it. I'm glad. Does that mean it's better than yesterday's? Let me think. I don't know. I guess I like them both. That's not very helpful, you know? Well, I'm not very good at figuring out if poems are good or bad, but that's why I just go by my heart. If it makes me feel things, then it must be a good poem. I'm not sure that's exactly how it works. Then again, I guess conveying feelings is a pretty important part of this whole thing. Yeah, maybe. Honestly, I don't even know what kind of writing you like in the first place. Yeah, me neither. Ugh. Why don't you at least try giving it some thought? Oh, you want to write something for me? That's so sweet. Yeah, right. But you're always thinking about other people. You need to think about yourself once in a while. If you don't, you might end up getting hurt at some point. Eh? Well, I don't really know what you mean, but I'll keep it in mind. Well, whatever. Anyway, let's see. I guess I'll like happy poems. Wait, sometimes I like sad poems too. Wait, sometimes I like a little bit of both. There's a word for that, right? What's the word I'm looking for? Bittersweet. Yeah. I like things that are happy and things that are sad. Happy and sad? I can't see you liking something sad, Sayori. Well, I like happy the most, but sometimes when you have a little rain cloud in your head, a sad poem can give the rain cloud a little hug and make a nice happy rainbow. Sayori, that's unexpectedly poetic. Eh? It is? Maybe I'm getting better at expressing my feelings after a while. Thanks, Michi-san. I should go write that down then. You can read my poem now, okay? Bottles. I pop off my scalp like the lid of a cookie jar. It's the secret place where I keep all my dreams, little balls of sunshine, all rubbing together like a bundle of kittens. I reach each inside with my thumb and forefinger and pluck one out. It's warm and tingly. There's no time to waste. I put it in a bottle to keep it safe, and I put the bottle on the shelf with all the other bottles. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts and bottles, all along in a row. Long poem. My collection makes me lots of friends. Each bottle a starlight to make amends. Sometimes my friend feels a certain way. Sometimes the bottle saved the day. Night after night, more dreams. Friend after friend, more bottles. Deeper and deeper my fingers go, like exploring a dark cave, discovering the secrets hiding in the nooks and crannies. Digging and digging, sapping and scraping. I blow dust off my bottle caps. It doesn't feel like the time elapsed. My empty shelf could use some more. My friends look through my front locked door. Finally, all done, I open up and in come my friends. In they come in such a hurry, do they want my bottles that much? I frantically put them in front of the shelf, one after the other, holding them out to each and every friend, each and every bottle. But every time I let one go, it shadows against the tile between my feet. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts and shards all over the floor. They were supposed to be my friends who aren't smiling. They're all shouting, pleading, something. But all I hear is echo, 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 echo inside my head. Ominous. Holy crap. Sarah, did you really write this? Of course I did. Didn't I tell you yesterday I was going to write the best poem ever? Yeah, but I mean I didn't expect something like this coming from you. Monica taught me a whole lot, and I've been really in touch with my feelings recently. I see that. It's almost kind of creepy. Creepy? Well, not exactly. Maybe because I'm so used to you being cheerful. Well, never mind. I'm thinking too hard about it. The point is, it came out good, so you should be proud of it. Aw, thanks. I feel like I was meant to express myself this way. It even helps me understand my own feelings a bit better. Writing is like magic. You've gotten pretty passionate about this, huh? I hope you keep it up. Yeah! Writing is the best. I'm going to keep writing until I die. Ahaha, don't get ahead of yourself. Sarah's always had a bit of a habit getting obsessed with something before dropping it no more than a week later. I wonder if this is one of those times? But seeing the passion rise makes it hard for me to be pessimistic. Okay, everyone. We're all done reading each other's poems, right? I have something extra special planned today. So if everyone could come sit at the front of the room. Is this about the festival? Well, sort of. Do we really have to do something for the festival? It's not like we can put it together anything good in just a few days. We'll just end up embarrassing ourselves instead of getting any new members. That's a concern of mine as well. I don't really do well with last minute preparations. Don't worry so much. We're going to keep it simple, okay? We won't need much more time than a few decorations. Sarah has been working on posters, and I've designed some pamphlets that we can give out during the event. Okay, that's great and all, but that really doesn't tell us what we're actually going to be doing for the event. Sorry, I thought you heard about it already. We're going to be performing. Performing? Monica? Yeah, we're going to have a poetry performance. Each of us are going to choose a poem to recite during the event. But the cool part is we're also going to let everyone else come up with it and recite poems too. Sarah's putting it all on the posters in case anyone wants to prepare ahead of time. Hee hee hee. Say Yuri, who's been coloring a poster holding it up for us to see. Are you kidding me, Monica? You didn't already start putting those posters up, did you? Well, I did. Do you really think that's that bad of an idea? Well, no. It's really not a bad idea. But I didn't sign up for this, you know? There's no way I'm going to be performing in a group of people like that. I agree with Natsuki. I could never, in my life, do something like that. Imagining it, Yuri shakes her head in fear. Guys, no, Sayori. I understand where they're coming from. Remember that Natsuki and Yuri never shared their poems with anyone until just a couple days ago. It's a lot to ask for them to recite their poems out loud to a whole room full of people. I guess I kind of overlooked that. So I'm sorry. But I still think we should give it our best. We're the only ones responsible for the fate of this club. If we start the event and each put on a good performance, then it will inspire others to do the same. And the more people who perform, the better we'll be able to show everyone what literature is all about. Yeah! It's about expressing your feelings. being intimate with yourself, finding new horizons, and having fun. That's right. And it's those reasons that we're all in this club today. Don't you want to share that with others? To inspire them to find the same feelings that brought you here in the first place? I know you do. I know we all do. And if all it takes is standing in front of the room for 2 minutes and reciting a poem, then I'll know you can do it. Natsuki and
Leo.
Yuri remain silent.
Leo, is Craig practicing?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that the music was just starting to get like slightly cutty and more sinister. And no,
I
just
want
like
him to get
Craig
more sinister already.
No, you're good.
Sir, he looks worried.
You're good. I just wanted to know if it was the game or you.
I guess that leaves me no choice. I agree. I don't think it's too much to ask. I think that Sarah and Monica have been trying really hard to get new members. The least we can do is help them out a little bit. Well, maybe, but it looks like Natsuki doesn't have any arguments left. Woo! Okay, fine. I guess I'll just have to get over it. Alright! Phew! Thanks, Natsuki. What about you, Yuri? Yuri dejectedly glances around at everyone else's expectant faces. I guess I don't really have a choice. Haha, that's everyone. You're the best, Yuri. This club is seriously going to be the death of me. Oh gosh. You'll be fine, Yuri. But anyway, let's move on to the main event. I want each of you to choose a poem of yours. We're going to practice reciting them in front of each other. No way! Monica, this is too sudden. Well, if you can't recite your poem in front of the club, how do you expect to do it in front of strangers? Oh no! Don't worry. I'll start off to help everyone feel a bit more comfortable. Can I go next? Ahaha, of course. Now let's see. Monica flips through her notebook to the specific poem she has in mind for herself. She then stands behind the podium. The title of this poem is The Way They Fly. Monica begins reciting her poem. Her clear, confident voice fills the room. More than that, her inflection is pristine. She knows exactly how to apply emotion behind each line she recites, bringing the words to life. Is this something she's done before, or is she simply a natural? I glance around me. Everyone has their eyes on Monica. Sarah looks amazed. Yuri has an intense expression on her face that I don't understand. Finally, Monica finishes the recitation. The four of us are appalled. Monica takes a breath and smiles. That was so good, Monica. Haha, thank you very much. I was just hoping to set a good example. Are you really going to go next, Sayori? I'll go next. Ooh, wow! Yuri's all fired up all of a sudden. Yuri clutches a sheet of paper between her hands and stands up. Keeping her head down, she walks quickly over to the podium. This poem is called... Yuri anxiously glances at each of us. You can do it, Yuri. It's called... After Image of a Crimson Eye. Yuri's voice shakes as she starts reciting the poem. Just a moment, she practically refused to do this just a moment ago. Why is she suddenly putting in so much effort? As Yuri gets past the first couple of lines, her voice changes. Why didn't... Oh, my phone thought I said Siri, but I said Yuri. That's hilarious. It's almost like what happens when Yuri gets absorbed into her books. Her quivering words transform into the sharp syllables of a fierce and confident woman. The poem is full of twists and turns in its structure that she enunciates with perfect timing. This must be a rare glimpse into the whirling fire Yuri keeps concealed inside her head. Suddenly she's finished. Everyone is stunned. Yuri snaps back into reality and glances around her as she bewildered even herself. It's up to me to save the situation. I'm the first to start applauding. Everyone joins me afterward and we give Yuri the recognition she deserves. It's not that we didn't want to applaud for her, but we were so caught off guard that we must have forgotten. As we applaud, Yuri holds the poem to her chest and brushes back into her seating. That was really good, Yuri. Thank you for sharing. Looks like Yuri is down for the count. Okay, I guess I'm next then. Sayori hopes to reach out of her chair and carefully walks to the podium. This one's called My Meadow. Sorry, I giggled. Sayori. It's a lot harder than I thought. How did you guys do it so easily? Try not to think of it like you're reciting to other people. Imagine you're reciting it to yourself, like in front of the mirror or in your own head. It's your poem, so it'll come out the best that way. I see. Okay then. Sayori begins her poem. Somehow it feels like her soft voice was made as a perfect match. The poem isn't aimlessly cheery like Sayori is. It's serene and bittersweet. If I were to read this on paper, I probably wouldn't think much of it, but hearing it come from Sayori's voice almost gives it a whole new meaning. Maybe this is what Sayori meant when she said she likes my poems. It's like I get to reach more deeply into someone than I thought I knew through and through. Sayori finishes and we applaud. I did it! Good job, Sayori. Even Michi-san liked it. I guess that's a good sign. What does that even mean? It came out nicely, Sayori. The atmosphere of the poem fits you very nicely. But it must be that other poems wouldn't work quite as well with that kind of delivery. I don't really understand. In other words, I've seen poems of yours where that sort of gentle delivery wouldn't work as well. They might need a little more force behind them depending on what you're reading. Oh, I know what you mean. That's well. I've been practicing that kind of thing. It's just embarrassing to do it in front of everyone. The next time I'm going to make you pick a poem that challenges you a little more. We don't have much time before the festival, you know? Okay. Now who's next? Natsuki? Don't make me go before Michi-san. It's not like it compared to you guys anyway. Might as well let Michi-san lower everyone's standards a little before I have to do it. Natsuki? It's fine. I might just as well get it over with. But it's not like I have much of a selection of what to read. I'll just have to go with what I wrote for today. I stand up and step in front of the podium. Everyone has their eyes on me, making me feel terribly awkward. I recite my poem. Silent. Since I'm not exactly confident in my own writing, it's hard to put energy into it. Despite that, once I finish, I receive applause anyway. So I'm not really as good as everyone else. Don't worry about it so much. I think it's less about your abilities and more about your lack of confidence in your writing. That's something that'll improve over time though. Yeah, maybe. Alright then. That just leaves you, Natsuki. Yeah, I'm going. Natsuki begrudgingly gets out of her seat and makes her way to the podium. The poem is called... Why are you all looking at me? Because you're presenting. Anyway, the poem is called Jump. Natsuki takes a breath. When she starts reciting the poem, her sour attitude disappears a little. When she starts a little unenthused, her poem has a rhythm and rhyme to it. It's Natsuki's trademark style, and it works surprisingly well when spoken aloud. The words feel like they bounce up and down as if giving life to the poem. Natsuki finishes, and everyone applauds. She huffs back to her seat. That wasn't so bad, was it? Easy for you to say. You'd better not make me do that again. Ah, well. Do you at least feel prepared enough to recite a poem in front of other people? I mean, doing it in front of other people will be way easier. I can put on whatever face I want for other people, but when it's just my friends, it's just embarrassing. That's a surprise, Natsuki. I think it would be the other way around for me. Well, at least that's just how it is, so. Well, I guess in that case, you won't have much to worry about for the festival. That said, I want to thank everyone for coming through. It might be hard, but I hope that you all have an idea of what it's like now. Make sure you pick a poem and get enough practice before the festival, okay? I'll be making pamphlets, so let me know ahead of time what you'll be reciting. Jeez, I should probably find some other poem to recite instead. That's fine too. It doesn't have to be your own. I'm already pleasantly surprised that you're putting in all this effort for the club. It makes me really happy. Ah yeah, no problem. Okay everyone, I think that's about it for the day. I know the festival's coming up, but let's try to write poems for tomorrow as well, as we're working out really nicely so far, so I'd like to continue that. As for the festival, we're finished planning tomorrow, and then we'll have the weekend to prepare. Monday's the big day. I can't wait. I can do this. Alright. I stand up. There's no way I'll be able to find the same enthusiasm as Sayori and Monica, but I'll do my best to get through it. If it's for the sake of the club and impressing Monica, then I'll have to do my best. Ready to go, Sayori? Yep. Look at you two always going home together like that. It's kind of adorable, isn't it? Hehehehe. Jeez, guys. Don't make such a big deal out of it, okay? It must be a little nice, though. Well, how am I supposed to respond to that? It's okay, Michi-san. You don't have to say anything. Whatever, let's go already. I walk home with Sayori once more. Even though it's only been a few days, a lot of things have already changed. But today, Sayori is really being a little quieter than usual on the way home. Hey, Sayori! Sorry, I was pacing out. Ah, no wonder. I was thinking about something from earlier. I like how we get to... Sayori fumbles with her words. So, let's just say that one day Yuri asked me to walk home with you. Huh? What would you do? What kind of question is that? You're kind of putting me on the spot here. So do you think that Yuri was chosen because of her actions, or do they just always choose Yuri?
So I can tell you if you want, because some of my friends have apparently played this game and I asked them.
Sure, tell me.
The way that it works is based on the poems you write, it picks a girl for you.
Ah, that makes sense.
So presumably, since we picked all of the dark words, we got Yuri. Were we to pick all of the happy words, we'd have gotten Natsuki, and somewhere in the middle would have gotten Sayori.
Do your friends say the game gets good eventually?
I have very, very emphatically said no spoilers. So presumably, this festival thing is gonna start kicking things up a notch.
Hopefully.
You should also definitely save your game.
Why does thinking of that make my heart pound? Given how hard it is for her to socialize, I would feel awful turning her down, so... Isn't she so beautiful and smart? That has nothing to do with what I just said. You admitted it. Jeez. Aw, jeez, Rick. There's not even any point in speculating something that's never going to happen. Yeah, maybe. But I just like to think about it. It's not long before you won't need me anymore, you know? Need you? Sayori, I can't figure out how you're seeing things in your head right now. Sorry. Everyone is different. Nobody in the club is a replacement for you. If you say so. Put it in the fridge. I'm busy. Yep. Mom, that's a camera. I'm busy. If you say so, the conversation trails off and I'm left feeling awkward. But it was kind of her fault for tracking me with such a weird question. I can't just lie to her. But if there's something that makes her happy, I would hate to take that away from her. That's why I said there's no point in speculating. Then again, the festival is only a few days away. Who knows what will happen in that time.
Are you able to click on one of the like little girls on the bottom? Does it work? Do anything?
No.
Uncontrollable.
Troy's on her screen, which is similar.
Yeah.
Ambient.
Guys, I'm gonna stop the stream for 5 minutes. Then I'll come back. I just need to eat something really fast. It will be really fast.
Sounds good. This would probably be a good time for me to grab a snack also. Be right back. And I'm back.
I'm back. Lior and Patrick, you both there?
I am. I believe Lior is.
There were people watching on Twitch, but they left when I had to take a break. Okay.
Ready to roll out!
Let's see. I'm just gonna close the door.
Beauty. Pick beauty.
Memories.
Okay, memories is acceptable also.
None of these are particularly dark.
Memories.
Could be wrath.
Broken or wrath?
Too rad. Crimson. It's the crimson you're from.
Depression.
Horror.
Oh yeah, horror works too.
Good misfortune. I want to see these poems. Are you still there?
Contamination. Ooh, melancholy. Go melancholy. Unrequited.
Okay. Oh man, I'm the last one here again. Don't worry, I just walked in too. Are you practicing the piano again? Yeah. You must have a lot of determination. Starting this club and now picking up piano. Well, maybe not determination, but I guess passion. And remember that the club wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all of you. And I'm super happy that you're all willing to help out for the festival too. I can't wait for the festival. It's gonna be great. Eh? Weren't you complaining about it just yesterday, Natsuki? Well, yeah. I'm not talking about our part of the festival. It's a whole day of school where we get to play and eat all kinds of delicious food. But you sound a bit like Sayori all of a sudden. Monica, do they usually have white squid? Squid? That's a pretty specific thing to look forward to. Oh, come on. Are you saying you don't like squid? You of all people? I didn't say I don't like it. Besides, what do you mean by you of all people? Because it's right in your name. Mon-ika. That's not how you say my name at all. Also, that joke makes no sense in translation.
Fourth wall break.
took me a while to realize I was like, huh? Ah, never mind. Let's just focus on our own event for now, okay? Fine. Your reactions aren't as fun as Yuri or Sayori's anyway. Excuse me. Where is Sayori anyway? Oh, there you are. Sayori is sitting at a desk in the corner of the room looking down at nothing. I walk over to her. Hey, Sayori. I wave my hand in front of her face. You're spacing out again. Ah. Sorry.
Okay, I found this on the web for how do you space.
How do I... Siri, go away. You're not Yuri, Siri. I'm just gonna turn my phone off. It keeps thinking I'm saying Siri. There. Don't mind me. You can go talk to everyone else. Huh? Is everything alright? Of course. Why wouldn't it be? It just feels like you're a little off. Sorry for assuming things. Geez, you worry too much about me. I'm fine, see? Sayori shows me a big smile. Don't let me distract you from having fun with everyone. Well, alright. If you say so. I worldly glanced at Sayori before turning back toward everyone else, with the conversations already dispersed with everyone back at their usual activities. Maybe I should ask Monica if she's noticed anything about Sayori recently. Since they've been preparing for the festival, they must be spending a lot of time together. I timidly approached Monica, who was shuffling through some papers at her desk. Michi-san, what's up? Hey, this might sound a little strange, but have you noticed anything up with Sayori lately? Anything up with her? In what way do you mean? Maybe I'm just reading into it a little too much, but she seems a bit downcast today. Oh, you think so? I can't say I've noticed anything about her. Monica peers across the room at Sayori.
Sorry, hold up. Leo, are you getting this emergency alert also? Check your phone. The city of Seattle is asking all residents to immediately disperse from downtown. The city has imposed an immediate curfew of 5 p.m. Protests, apparently.
Damn.
Shout out to Seattle on the stream. Apparently shit's fucked. Okay, moving on. Monica peers across the room at Sayori, who's idly dragging a rubber eraser up and down her desk. Maybe there's something on her mind. But I'm surprised I'm not the one asking you, Michi-san. You certainly know her a lot better than I do. Yeah, but she's never really like this. She's always talked to me about things that bothered her. But this time when I asked her, she was really dismissive. Sorry, I know it's not your problem. I just wanted to ask if you knew anything, so I'll drop it now. No. It's just important to me too. I mean, I'm also friends with her.
And I also care about the well-being of my club members, you know. Maybe I'll try talking to her myself. Eh? Are you sure about that? She seemed like she wanted to be left alone. Are you sure? Maybe she just has a hard time bringing up with the person of interest. Person of interest? What do you mean by that? I'm saying that maybe the thing on her mind is you, Michi-san. Me? How on earth would you come to that conclusion? Well, I probably shouldn't say too much, but Sayori talks about you more than anything else, you know. Eh? She's been so much happier ever since you joined the club. It's like an extra light was turned on inside of her. What? No way. Sayori's always like that. She's always been full of sunshine. It's not any different now than it always has been. Hee. You're so funny, Michi-san. Have you ever thought that maybe you've always seen her as so cheerful because that's just how she is when she's around you? I said too much. I'm sorry, what do I know anyway? I didn't mean to jump to the conclusion, so you should forget about what I said. I'll try to talk to her, so try not to think about it for now. Alright. Monica smiles meaningfully. I know she just had to forget about it, but I already know that I won't be able to get her words out of my head. Monica stands up from her desk and walks around the room to where Sayori was sitting. I watch her kneel down next to Sayori and gently talk to her, but she's keeping her voice so quiet that I can't hear from here. I sigh and sit myself down. I know Sayori told me not to worry about her and to have fun with everyone else, but that's impossible to do when she's behaving like this. Exactly how much do I care about her now that I'm letting this weigh down on me so much? Now it feels like I'm the one behaving out of the ordinary, but there's nothing I can do besides wait for Monica. Why does it feel like I'm being watched? I glance around the room. Suddenly, I notice Yuri peering at me from over her book, but she looks away just as quickly with a flustered look on her face. I realize we won't get anywhere like this. I've never really seen Yuri approach anyone or start a conversation on her own accord, so I have no choice but to approach her myself. Right now, it's a little easier for me to do that. I stand up from my desk and sit in one next to her own. I didn't mean to bother you or anything. Relax, you didn't even do anything. But I could tell that you wanted to be alone with your thoughts. Alone with my thoughts? How were you ever able to tell what I was thinking like that? Well, it's something that I do a lot, so it wasn't hard for me to spot based on your posture and expression. No, not that I was staring at you or anything. I didn't do anything creepy like that. In any case, I guess you were right. I'm sorry if I caused you any concern. Don't apologize. Your troubles are only the concern of those who willingly share in that concern. Of course, there are certainly those who find the most comfort in keeping to themselves. But if you prefer to share what's on your mind, then I would be glad to listen. It's really not that big of a deal. I was just feeling a bit uneasy about Sayori. Sayori? Yeah, she just seems a little off today, but when I asked her about it, she didn't want to admit it to me. So I can't help but wonder if something happened to her. Oh? That's quite romantic. Yeah? Sorry. I didn't mean to say something stupid. It's not that. I just didn't want you to misunderstand. Sarah and I have just been friends for a long time, that's all. I see. Then perhaps it is unusual for her to be dismissive to you about her feelings. Or maybe I'm just reading into it a little too much. Michi-san, the world is full of meaning, often hidden behind plain sight. And there are many untold mysteries behind every person, no matter how well you may know them. So you think that there might be something behind it after all? I think that Sayori is a very complex person. Her mannerisms on the outside don't always match what may be going on inside her head. And she may not always know what she wants. I noticed her strange behavior today too, and I also feel some concern for her. But in your case, it looked like she was fully occupying your thoughts, wasn't she? Well, I guess that was the case. Sayori, she really means a lot to you, doesn't she? I guess. But you don't need to put it that way. We're just good friends, that's all. Yuri suddenly looks very deeply into my eyes. Her expression is gentle and curious, as if she was searching for something. Embarrassed, I avert my gaze. Sometimes
A person's mysteries are untold even to themselves. And you, as someone honest and caring, may uncover feelings you weren't aware were in you. That is, I think that she would be a very fortunate person to have you feel that way about her. Yuri, you're giving me too much credit. I'm a pretty simple guy, so I think I'm pretty good at understanding my own feelings. I'm not nearly as sophisticated as you. That's not a compliment, is it? It is what it is. Anyways, as long as we're here, why don't we do some reading? Well, as long as you're okay with it. Yeah, I should be taking my mind off this whole thing anyway. Okay, everyone. After some time passes, Monica calls out to the club room. Why don't we share our poems now? Before I know it, everything is back to normal. Everyone goes to retrieve their poems, and I do the same. I make eye contact with Monica, and she smiles at me. I wonder what she was talking about with Sayori. Michi-san, your writing has only improved in these last few days. Every poem you showed me has been nothing short of spectacular. I can really feel the emotions. I'm a little envious, even. I don't think it ever came to me this naturally. Yuri, that's the wrong way to put it. This never did come naturally to me, but I've been able to improve so much thanks to you. You're really the example I was chasing after. Is that so? Yuri gently smiles to herself. This feeling. I'm so glad I got the chance to share my writing. I never thought it would feel like this. I remember you mentioning that yesterday. I can't believe that you're so good at something and you've never even shared it with anyone. It's kind of a shame. Maybe, but it's not like I really had a choice. What do you mean? Well, Yuri smiles sadly. Michi-san, during lunchtime, I eat by myself. Did you know that? It's a great time to find a quiet spot and do some reading. In fact, I always have some books with me. You could say I really enjoy reading. Well, that's one way to put it anyway. But books are so full of amazing and inspiring people. People you want to fall in love with. Or people you just know would make a really good friend. Cheerful people who always put a smile on your face. Or deep thinkers and problem solvers who discover the mysteries of life. So when you look at it that way, I'm surrounded by friends every day. You know? And those friends don't laugh at me. They don't tease me for spacing out all the time. They don't make fun of my body type. And they don't hate me for acting like a know-it-all. People say that about you? I'm not a know-it-all, Michi-san. It's the opposite. I don't know anything. I don't know how to talk to people. I don't know how to make people see me as normal. I don't even know how to make myself happy. I have all these feelings, and all I can do with them is read and write. But it wasn't until now that I started sharing it with you that I really understood what I was missing all this time. But I haven't really done anything. No, that's wrong. Just being patient and respectful, that's really important to me. And I know I'm a difficult person, Michi-san. I speak too slowly. I second-guess myself all the time. I read too deeply into things. But every time, you've always treated me just like anybody else. It's so rare that I feel comfortable with myself when I talk to others. But that's why every time I talk to you, I just feel really happy. I see. Well, I treat you how you deserve to be treated, Yuri, milady. And if other people don't see it that way, then screw them, milady. I mean, I joined this club hoping I would make friends, milady. And I would just say I've had at least one success, milady. Wouldn't you, milady? If you put it that way. Yeah, we really are friends now, aren't we? Yuri puts her head in her hands. But this time, she's smiling as she does it. Do you want me to show your Do you want to show me your poem? Yeah, I do. Let me get it for you. Ghost Under the Light, Part 2. The tendrils of my hair illuminate the amber glow. Beneath the amber glow. Bathing. In the distance, a blue-green light flickers. A lone figure crosses its path, a silhouette obstructing the eerie glow. My heart pounds. The silhouette grows. Closer. Closer. I open my umbrella, casting a shadow to shield me from visibility, but I'm too late. He steps into the streetlight. I gasp and drop my umbrella. The light flickers. My heart pounds. He raises his arm. Time stops. The only indication of movement is the amber light flickering against his outstretched arm. The flickering light is in rhythm with the pounding of my heart, teasing me for succumbing to this forbidden emotion. Have you ever heard of a ghost feeling warmth before? Giving up on understanding, I laugh. Understanding is overrated. I touch his hand. The flickering stops. Ghosts are blue-green. My heart is amber. Finishing the poem, I start to hand it back to Yuri. But instead of taking it from me, she looks away. Do you dislike it? No, of course not. I just don't really know how I should respond. Despite Yuri's poems usually being cryptic, it wasn't hard to figure out what this one was about. I don't know if I'll be able to explain this one. That's fine. Just checking something. Here. That's fine. I understand this one. Yuri's having an even harder time speaking than usual. Does this one mean a lot to you? Yuri nods. I'm not really good with words, but I'm happy that you shared it with me. So thank you, and I hope we keep spending time together. Despite my inability to make eye contact, I see a faint smile emerge on Yuri's lips. I once again try to hand the poem back to her, but instead Yuri gently shakes my hand and pushes them back towards me. I hesitate in response to her warm touch. You can, the poem is... Once again, Yuri fails to form a complete sentence. You mean I can't keep it? I can keep it. Yuri nods. I'd love to. Again, Yuri faintly smiles, as if she doesn't want me to notice. You always make me feel nice. I know I'm not good with people, but I hope that I can return the favor sometimes. Yeah, don't worry. I think you do a good job. Yuri finally turns back to me. I guess we should move on before Monica says something, but I'm sure we can talk again later. Yeah, I'm sure we will. With that, Yuri timidly smiles at me, and I return to my seat so I can put her poem away. Hi, Michi-san. Have you thought about what you want to submit to perform at the festival? Well, being in this club is one thing, but performing in front of a bunch of people, I'll have to give it some more thought. Okay, no pressure, but whatever you do, I'm sure it'll turn out great. It would also make me happy to see. Anyway, let's take a look at today's poem. Sure. I let Monica take the pencil I'm holding in my hands. Your style's gotten so refined, Michi-san. Yuri's been teaching you a lot of things, hasn't she? Well,
Wink, wink.
I guess so. Yeah, I've been noticing how much time you spend with her. I think
Wink, wink.
I've heard her say more words these past couple of days than she's talked in the whole year. Not sure how you did it, but that's pretty impressive. Well, just needs some patience and a way to... She just needs some patience and a way to talk about all the things in her head, I guess. I'm still getting the hang of it myself. You're certainly putting in a lot of effort. You must really like her. That's... It's awfully suspicious, you know. Spending time with her in the club room every day, reading that edgy novel with her. Well, I just feel bad that she's a hard time socializing. It makes me want to make sure she doesn't spend all her time alone. Besides, the novel isn't too bad either, you know. Alright. I getcha. Just be careful, alright? I know that Yuri isn't opening herself up, so if something bad happens while she's vulnerable, then it could be really hard for her. Her books aren't a total escape from reality. They're just a bandage. You say that like I'm going to hurt her. Sorry, I didn't really mean that. If anything, she might accidentally hurt herself. Anyway, I'll share my poem with you now, alright? Alright. The Lady Who Knows Everything. An old tale of a lady who wanders earth. The lady who knows everything. A beautiful lady who has found every answer, all meaning, all purpose, and all that was ever sought. And here I am, a feather, lost adrift to the sky, the victim of the currents of the wind. Day after day I search with little hope, knowing legends don't exist. But when all has failed me, when all others have turned away, the legend is all that remains, the last dim star glimmering in the tumult sky, until one day the wind ceases to blow. I fall, and I fall, and I fall even more, gentle as a feather, a dry quill, expressionless. But a hand, it catches me between the thumb and forefinger, the hand of a beautiful lady. I look at her eyes and find no end to her gaze. And the lady who knows everything knows what I'm thinking. Before I could speak, she responds in a hollow voice. I have found every answer, all of which amount to nothing. There is no meaning, there is no purpose, and we seek only the impossible. I'm not your legend does not exist. And with a breath she blows me back afloat, and I pick up a ghost of a wind. You know, I feel like learning and looking for answers are the sort of things that give life meaning. Not to get too philosophical or anything, but it was kind of on my mind, so that's what I wrote about. I see. I never really put much thought into it. In a way, it's almost paradoxical, because if we all had the answers, wouldn't the world start to lose its meaning? You know, Michi-san, there's one thing I noticed. It seems like everyone in the club prefers writing about things that are more sad than happy. Are you surprised? I mean, if everything was okay, we wouldn't really have anything to write about, would we? Humans aren't two-dimensional creatures. I still think you know that better than anyone. You mean one-dimensional? Yeah, that. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Are you ever too shy to share a writing because you're afraid it's not that good? It can be really disheartening to get a lukewarm response to something you put so much into. But if you find other people who all enjoy writing, then sharing becomes a lot easier. Because instead of just telling you that your writing is good, or okay, or bad, they'll want you to focus more on everything that went into it, and the things you can work on. It's much more encouraging that way, and it will make you want to continue improving. It's almost like having your own literature club, don't you think? That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Yeah, no thanks. You didn't even? Next. Thank God.
Interesting dynamics there. I think that if you piss her off enough that she's just not reading your poems.
It's nice, I guess. Come on, I can already tell you don't like it. Well, you don't need to worry about what I think. After all, you wrote this for someone else, didn't you? Probably Yuri. I didn't write this for anyone specifically. Maybe. That's not really what I meant, though. But it's okay. You're making new friends, just like I was hoping. That makes me feel really happy. And you're happy too, right? In this club? Well, of course I am. Good. That's all that matters to me. Thank you, Michi-san. Sayori, is there something wrong? No, nothing. I'm just a little tired today. Hehehehe. Alright. Just tell me if you need anything. I will. Don't worry about me, okay? You can go play with everyone else now, if you insist. Yay! I'm gonna go home a little bit early today. Sayori. Tell Monica I wasn't feeling well, okay? I'll see you tomorrow. Before I can say anything else, Sayori cheerfully walks out of the classroom, humming to herself. Okay, you three. We're all done sharing poems, right? Why don't we start figuring out? Hold on a second. Is it just me or did you say something strange just now? Something did sound a bit unusual. That's right. You deviated from your usual catchphrase when addressing the club. Catchphrase? I don't have a catchphrase. Jeez, why is the mood so weird today? Look, even Yuri isn't immune to it. Oh? Stagnating air is calm and foreshadowing that something terrible is about to happen. In your books, maybe. Look, the only thing different is that Sayori isn't here. Ah, it seems you're right. Sigh. Sayori always helps lighten the mood a little bit, doesn't she? It's almost like everyone's balance is thrown off a little when she's not around. Where the heck did she run off to anyway? I thought she just went to pee. Natsuki, please show some decency. Oh, come on. She actually wasn't feeling too well and went home early. Is that so? I hope she's alright. Seriously. Of all the times to not go home with her, you picked the time she's not feeling well. So much for you two being all lovey-dovey. Ah, no. First of all, stop misunderstanding my friendship with Sayori. And second, she's kind of been avoiding me today, so I didn't want to force it. Ooh. That curious expression coming from Yuri, of all people. Calm down, guys. I talked to her earlier and everything is fine. What did she say? Anyway, we need to figure out the rest of the festival preparation, so let's decide what everyone will be doing this weekend. I already know what I'm doing. That's right. Natsuki will be making cupcakes, but we might need a lot of them and different flavors. Can you handle that all by yourself, Natsuki? Challenge accepted. And as for myself, I'm going to be printing and assembling all the poetry pamphlets. Sayori will be helping me design them. And as for Yuri, you can, guys, can you help me come up with something for Yuri? I'm useless. No, that's not it at all. You're the most talented person here, you know? Not now. Natsuki's pouting too. Jeez, even I can tell now. I never gave Sayori enough credit, but I can tell things are even harder on you when she's not around. Ah, that may be the case, but if I can't also be a leader on my own, then I won't grow as a person. So Yuri, you have beautiful handwriting, you know. So you should just make some banners and decorations to help set the atmosphere. Atmosphere? About that, I love atmosphere. Yuri's expression suddenly changes as she stares at her desk in focus and starts nodding to herself. Your mind is already racing, I see. That's great. You'll be wonderful help, Yuri. But anyway, that just leaves you, Michi-san, the one who is truly useless. Ahaha, don't say that. In fact, both Natsuki and Yuri have some pretty heavy tasks to handle. It would probably go a long way to give one of them a hand. You could always help me out as well. I would be really appreciative of that. Is Monica suggesting I spend the weekend with one of my club members? How on earth are they going to respond to a suggestion like that? I suppose I wouldn't mind a bit of help. Well, even if you don't know how to bake, there's always dirty work I could give you. It's not like Monica's going to give me a choice, and you shouldn't be sitting on your butt anyway. Natsuki tries to mumble a bunch of excuses like that. If I recall, Natsuki, you mentioned you would like to handle the baking on your own. Michi-san may not like to be around if you only make him out to be a nuisance. So therefore, he may be more suited to assisting with the decorations. Hold on, I never said that. How could it be hard to make a few decorations anyway? Sounds more like you're just making excuses for Michi-san to... What are you saying? It'll be extremely meticulous work. And baking isn't? Just what do you think? Guys, let's settle down for a moment. In the end, I think it's up to Michi-san to decide how he'd like to contribute. Besides, he hasn't really gotten the chance to spend time with me yet, you know? So I'm sure he's interested in... You literally just said... I'm surprised as well. Sorry. I was just saying though. Jeez. Can we just settle this already? Yeah. Michi-san, you're okay with this, right? In the end, it's up to you. Of course. Very well. In that case, everyone look straight at me. Well, I'll probably be most useful helping out Yuri. Me? Are you serious? Why would you? Natsuki, I can already tell you're about to say something mean. No, I was just saying, so you'll be helping Yuri then, Michi-san? Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm glad. I have a bad habit of overthinking these sorts of things, so I think your assistance will be very useful. That's great to hear. Natsuki will be able to handle the baking yourself? I mean, yeah. I already said I would be fine. Okay. Everyone can tell that Natsuki is feeling a little sour, so is that everything we need to go over? Yeah, that should be about it. Are you guys excited? Well, excited may not be the right word, but I suppose I'm looking forward to it a little bit. Do you feel the same way, Michi-san? Me? I guess you could say I'm interested to see how it'll turn out. That's good enough for me. What about you, Natsuki? Natsuki? What? Why is everyone yelling at me? I didn't even do anything. No, that's not what I meant at all. Yuri anxiously glances between everyone in the room. I'm sorry for this. I don't really know why Michi-san picked me. And also, your cupcakes are the best cupcakes I've ever had. They go really well with my tea. And nothing that I ever do for the event will compare to that, so, I get it. I'm kind of surprised though. Why? Well, I'm the one acting immature. I already know that. But you're trying to cheer me up all of a sudden. I know I'm not very good at it. I'm sorry if I said something bad. Natsuki isn't the only one surprised. Monica and I are also taken aback by Yuri's words. When she already has trouble with words, she's trying to cheer someone up must be far out of her own comfort zone. But I begin to understand. Yuri was trying to sound like Sayori. Even if it didn't work perfectly, I can tell she tried to say something Sayori would say at a time like this. Because Sayori always helps everyone smile and feel good about themselves. No, I kind of appreciated it. I'm sorry for making a big deal out of nothing, but I'm going to say this. You better bet that my cupcakes are going to be the best part of the whole event. I believe you. Yeah, I hope to see everyone do their best. But with that, there's nothing more for today. So I guess it's time for us to head out. Alright, let's get out of here then. Everyone packs up their things. I start to follow Monica and Natsuki out the door as they chat between one another. I turn around. Sorry. I realized that I don't have a way of communicating with you this weekend. Oh, you're right. I can't believe that slipped my mind. Should I give you my phone number? I think that would be the best way, yeah. Alright then. Yuri and I exchange phone numbers. Okay, then I'll be stopping by your house on Sunday. My house? Is that a problem? Nope, not at all. I just thought that I would be the one going to your house, since I'm the one helping you. I suppose that makes sense. But if you don't mind, I think I would prefer going to your house. Alright, in that case it won't be a problem. I decided not to press Yuri for a reason. It's not like it should matter much either way, so I just need to make sure my room is clean. I hope I managed to make myself useful in some way. I'm not really as creative as you are. Don't underestimate yourself, Michi-san. I think that will make a very productive team. Even if you only choose me because you felt bad or something. Wait, you don't actually think that, do you? I don't know. It's difficult to come up with any other reason you may have chosen me. You're forgetting the one reason with the most common sense. I chose to help you because that's what I want to do. But, Yuri thinks to herself with an extremely tense expression. Yuri, you're overthinking this. You wanted me to point out when you're overthinking, right? I didn't realize. I'm telling you, I want to. That's all there is to it. Do you believe me? Yuri thinks really hard again. She looks straight into my eyes for a long while. I believe you. As if it took her tremendous effort, Yuri finally says that and relaxes her expression. And I'm really looking forward to Sunday. Yeah, I am too. After that exchange, I make my way out the door and Yuri follows. I can't believe this. Yuri's going to be coming to my house on Sunday? My anxiety shoots through the roof. Even though I've gotten pretty used to handling her at this point, there's no telling what may end up happening when we're outside of school. More than that, she told me she was looking forward to it. Is this the chance I have to make something happen between us, or is it too early for that? Only time will tell. But until then, I won't be able to take my mind off it. I seriously can't wait. It's already Sunday. I've been getting increasingly anxious about Yuri's upcoming visit. I keep telling myself there's no reason to be nervous, but it doesn't help much. Yuri is clearly an introvert and also an intimate person in general. There's no doubt that she'll open up a little bit when it's just the two of us. Meanwhile, we've been texting occasionally. She was extremely apprehensive at first, but it wasn't long before I was already learning more about her. But putting Yuri aside, I haven't heard a thing from Sayori since she left the club early the other day. It's not like we text each other all the time or anything, but I've been worried about her at the back of my mind. Between what Sayori said and what Monica said, is it really okay for me to put off Sayori's feelings when she might need me?
Save the game also. You know, something. It seems like something is going to start happening finally.
I decide to visit Sayori before Yuri comes over. Rather than asking, I simply tell her I'm coming over, much like we've done in the past. Once I reach Sayori's house, I knock on the door before entering it myself. Again, we used to play so often that we're made it a habit of simply entering each other's houses like we're family. The house is quiet. Sayori isn't anywhere on the 4th floor, so I assume she's up in her room. It's already strange of her to not run down and greet me. I head up to her bedroom when I finally find her. Sayori? Hi, Michi-san? I sit down in her room. Sayori forces a smile, but it's easy to tell that she's different. There's a minute of silence between us. You haven't come over like this in a long time, have you? Ah, I guess you're right. It has been a long time. Not much has really changed, has it? Sayori's room is as messy as it's always been. It's really not that messy. I also recognize the same stuffed animals and wall decorations that she's had for 3 years now. Hee hee! If you came over more often, it wouldn't be such a mess. That's because I end up cleaning it up for you. How come you always suddenly wanted to come over today? Aren't you supposed to see Yuri today? Yeah, but... Wait, how did you know that? Sayori had already left by the time we decided that last meeting. Monica told me. It's only natural for her to keep me informed about the festival preparations, right? Ah, that's true. But what about you? Aren't you going to be helping Monica today? Of course. But I'm just helping her online. We didn't plan to meet up or anything. Ah, so it's just me and Yuri then. Yep. There's more silence between us. Sayori stares in a random direction. Everything about her behavior is really uncharacteristic. I finally get to the point. I just wanted to see how you were doing. After you left on Friday, when something's wrong, you can't hide it from me. I know you too well. So, Sayori smiles, shaking her head. That's no good, Michi-san. Eh? Why can't it just be like it's always been? This is all my fault. If I didn't get so weak and accidentally express my feelings, if I didn't make that stupid mistake, then you wouldn't have been worried about me at all. You wouldn't have come here. You wouldn't have even been thinking about me right now. But this is just my punishment, isn't it? I'm getting punished for being so selfish. I think that's why the world has decided you have to come over today. It just wants to torture me. Hee hee hee. Sayori. I grab Sayori by the shoulders. What on earth are you saying? Are you listening to yourself right now? I know something happened to you. There's no other explanation for you to be like this. So tell me already. Until I know, I won't be able to stop thinking about it. Sayori gives me an empty smile. You really put me in a trap, Michi-san. But you're wrong. Nothing happened to me. I've always been like this. You're just seeing it for the first time. Seeing what? What are you talking about, Sayori? Hee hee hee. You're really just going to make me say it, aren't you, Michi-san? I guess I have no choice this time. The thing is, I've had really bad depression my whole life. Did you know that? Why do you think I'm late to school every day? Because most days I can't even find a reason to get out of bed. What reason is there to do anything when I fully know how worthless I am? Why go to school? Why eat? Why make friends? Why make other people put their energy and caring to waste by having them spend it on me? That's what it feels like, and that's why I just want to make everyone happy, without anyone worrying about me. I'm in shock. I can't even figure out how to respond. How is it possible that Sayori kept this from me the entire time that I've known her? Did she really want it so badly for me to just not think about her? Why, Sayori? Eh? Why is it that you've never told me about this? It almost feels like you've been betrayed by your close friend. Because if I knew, I would have done everything I could to support you. Even if there's only so much that I could do, I would have tried a little bit harder to make every day a little better for you. That's why I'm your friend. All you have to do is tell me. You don't understand at all, Michi-san. Why do you think I didn't tell you? Because if I had told you, then you would have to wait effort caring about me instead of doing important things. I don't want to be cared about. It's bittersweet when people try to care about me. It feels nice sometimes. It also feels like a bat being swung against my head. Ahaha. That's why I wanted so badly for you to make friends with everyone else. Helping everyone be happy together is the best thing for me. But then I discovered something else too. Seeing you make friends and getting closer with everyone in the club, it feels like a spear going through my heart. So that's why, That's why I decided the whole world just wants to torture me. Every path leads to nothing but hurt. Ahaha, you're right that I don't understand. I don't understand your feelings at all, Sayori. But I don't need to understand. Whatever it takes for me to help stop you hurting. That's what I'll do. No, Michi-san. There's nothing. Nothing at all. The only thing that could have helped is if everything could be like it always was. But I was selfish. I finally showed you what a horrible person I am. Tears streaked down Sayori's face. I made you join the Literature Club because I was selfish. And I was punished by my heart hurting in a way that I couldn't understand. And now you came here and I made you hurt too. I'm just weak and selfish. That's all I am. And that's why I'm going to accept these punishments. Because I deserve every last one. Without thinking, I once again grab Sayori's shoulders. This time I pull her into a tight embrace. Ah, Michi-san. Sayori, I don't care if you feel selfish. I'm really happy that you convinced me to join the club. Seeing you every day makes it worthwhile enough. If I make friends with everyone else, then that's just a bonus. Please never underestimate how much I care about you. I won't have it any other way. Michi-san? Sayori isn't hugging me back. Despite my arms being wrapped around her, Sayori's arms remain at her sides. She starts sobbing next to my ear. No, don't do this to me. Please don't do this. Michi-san. Sayori barely managed to speak between her sobs. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing, but all I want is for her to know that I care. If you have it in you to call yourself selfish, then you have to let me be selfish too. No matter what it takes, I'll figure out what needs to change. I'll make these feelings go away. And if there's anything that you need me to do, then you'd better tell me. I'll get mad if you don't. I don't know. Gently, Sayori finally pushes her arms around me in return. I don't know anything. It's all really, really scary. I don't understand any of my feelings, Michi-san. The only times I'm not feeling something is when I'm feeling pain. But your hugs are so warm, and that's really scary too. Sayori lets me go. As she does, I let her go as well. The festival is tomorrow. Yeah? It's going to be fun, right? Yeah? How would you like for me to spend it all with you? It's what I want. I promise. I think that would be nice then. Yeah. Sayori wipes her eyes. If I could spend the whole day here, I would. Of all the days, this has to be the one where I have other plans. Maybe I should cancel. No, don't. Please don't. If you did that, then I really wouldn't forgive you. But it's almost time for Yuri to meet at my house. At the very least, you want to come along and help out? It would be fun. To my surprise, Sayori shakes her head. I'm sorry. I don't know if it would be very good for me today. You understand, right? It's kind of hard for me to fully understand, but I'm trying my hardest. It's okay. Don't worry too much about it. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Alright. I'll look forward to it. I say goodbye to Sayori and exit her house. On the way home, I find myself feeling uneasy, but it's hard for me to keep thinking about it when Yuri is about to come over too. I think Sayori is right. I shouldn't be worrying too much, and we're definitely going to have a great time tomorrow. I should just focus on what's ahead of me. As I approach my house, I see something that makes me feel a moment of panic. Yuri? Thank goodness. You're a little early. I'm sorry I wasn't home yet. Were you waiting a long time? No, I just got here. But I started to get really nervous when no one answered the doorbell. You always could have texted me. If I had known, I would have reassured you and hurried on my way home. I suppose that's true. I didn't think of that for some reason. It should be common sense to do that, but I decided to ignore it. Anyway, let's go inside. I see you brought a lot of stuff with you. That's right. And did you manage to find everything I asked you to buy as well? Yeah, pretty much. At least I hope I got everything right. I'm sure it will be fine. I take Yuri to my room. The first thing she does is glance around curiously, which makes me feel anxious. It's so clean. I cleaned it before you came over, so that's very considerate of you to do. No. I would be really embarrassed for my room to be a mess while you were here. Well, I do enjoy cleaning. I'd have gladly helped you clean. That would be even more embarrassing. Wait, don't look in there. I snatched Yuri's wrist, which is in the process of opening a desk drawer of mine. I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking for some reason. I was just spacing out. It's fine. I let go of Yuri's wrist. She puts both of her hands firmly in her lap, as if making sure she's keeping track of them. So, Should we get started? Yes. I have a few things planned that you can help with. Decorating and other atmospheric enhancements. Atmospheric enhancements? You know, mood lighting, aromatherapy candles. Oh, wow. I didn't know you planned on taking it that far. Of course. I want to help take our guests to a faraway place. Although many will stop by just out of curiosity. And for cupcakes, I guess. I'm determined to provide an experience that will leave them wanting more. That's great. It's easy to forget that you're a pretty intense person. Intense? I guess that's the best way to put it. Is that a bad thing? No, not at all. It's something that I like about you, actually. Is that so? That makes me feel relieved and kind of happy. Yeah, no need to be so anxious. You can relax a little. Relax. I brought some things for relaxation. I was going to use them during the poetry event. Oh yeah? Like what? Let's see. Yuri rummages through her bag. She pulls out a few candles and a wooden cylinder-shaped object. So I did some shopping on the way here, so I happen to have these in my bag. I plan to cover the windows in black paper and use the candles to light the room.
Demon summoning?
I think that would be amazing, don't you? Yeah, that would be really neat. What's that wooden thing, though? Oh, this? It's a diffuser for essential oils. How familiar are you with aromatherapy? Not familiar at all. Ah, is that so? It's one of my favorite contributors to a positive atmosphere. Depending on the oils or herbs you choose, you can change the mood of the air itself. You can even feel it permeate through your body. Relaxation, positive energy, romance, reflection. It's almost like magic. Yuri takes the cylinder and pushes the switch on the bottom. In just a moment, a thin ray of vapor begins to spout through the small hole on the top. Wow, that smells wonderful. What kind of mood is that one for? This one is a jasmine essential oil. It smells a little sweet and flowery, right? Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. I chose jasmine for the event because it provides more than relaxation. Jasmine enhances your emotions and helps you feel them flow through your body. You feel warmer and your heart pounds more heavily. Don't you think that would be perfect for sharing our poems? It does sound suitable, but you seem to know a lot about this, so I'll trust your opinion with anything. Yuri smiles gently, clearly enjoying herself. She again reaches into her bag and pulls out several spools of thin ribbon. What are these for? Well, did you purchase the original origami paper I asked you to get? Yeah, I have it over here. We won't be using the paper for folding origami. What I'd like to do is write a different word on each paper. We'll need about 100 of them. Oh yeah? What will those be used for? Well, I'm going to cut pieces of ribbon to hang from the door of the classroom. Then we can fasten the paper onto the ribbons to create a doorway curtain. Wouldn't that be beautiful? It would also catch the eyes of those passing by their room. It may attract some to peek inside. That's really creative. I had no idea you'd be so good at this, Yuri. Is that so? Well, I suppose I do get a little intense, as you'd put it. Yuri giggles with red cheeks. Is it just me, or is she more relaxed when it's just the two of us? Or maybe it's the excitement she feels from sharing something that she enjoys. Here's a marker, Michi-san. You can write any characters you want. I'll help you once I finish cutting the ribbons. Alright. Sitting on the floor together, the two of us do get to work. I already draw a different character on each paper, doing my best to manage my bad handwriting. Yuri unravels a long strand of red ribbon to her desired length. Then she reaches into her bag once more and pulls out a pocket knife. Eh? The knife is strangely beautiful. The silver handle has an intricate pattern of waves etched into it. The blade itself is gently tinted blue. That's no ordinary pocket knife. It looks really fancy. Well... Embarrassed, Yuri looks away. What is it? You're going to think it's weird. Yuri, whatever it is, I have no reason to judge. To each their own, you know? If you promise you won't be weirded out. Yeah, I promise. Alright. The thing is, I'm kind of into knives. They're just so pretty. I can't help it. I don't know what it is. The combination of craftsmanship and feeling of danger, maybe? Ooh, what am I saying? Please don't think I'm weird for this. You're laughing at me. No, I'm not laughing at you. It's just funny how nervous you get about sharing. It's an interesting thing to be into, I guess. But I think it kind of suits you. Suits me? Yeah, it's kind of intense. Besides, it's a really cool looking knife, I can't deny that. It is, isn't it? Yuri relaxes her expression once again. Would you like to hold it? Sure, I'll check it out. Yuri carefully hands me the knife with the handle facing me. Take it and turn it around in my hands. It feels heavy and extremely solid. Where do you even get a knife like this? Curious of its sharpness, I feel the point of the knife with my index finger. Ow! Michi-san, why did you do that? I didn't expect it to be that sharp. I barely touched it at all. It's all my fault. I should have warned you. This knife is extremely sharp. It can cut through skin like it's paper. Oh no. A small drop of blood trickles down the side of my finger. Yuri takes my hand and gives the wound a closer look. Ah. She stares at it and noticeably finished. If you scream, I shall go wash it off now. Ah. Without warning, Yuri puts my finger into her mouth
There we
and
go.
licks the wound. I feel her tongue curl around my finger. Startled. So you said vampires before, didn't you? Startled.
I did, but I said I did not think it was going to be her.
I instinctively pull my hand back. Oh. Please forgive me. I wasn't thinking. Yuri lowers her head, her face burning up. Yuri, that's the most embarrassing thing I've ever done. How could I do something like that? I'm sorry. Sure, it was a little weird and it took me by surprise, but I guess she was just trying to help, right? Yuri, I think you're overreacting a little. She doesn't lift her head. What if she doesn't recover from this for the rest of the afternoon? Alright, you know what? This might be a stupid thing to do, but I do it anyway. I take Yuri's hand and lick her index finger in return. Michi-san! Did you really just do that? Now we're even. Oh, what? What happened? Okay. Yuri just looked at me like I did something wrong. I knew that would be a bad idea. If not for the sweet aroma of the jasmine oil, the air would be extremely heavy right now. You're so weird, Michi-san. Yuri giggles shyly. Eh?
Like he's not the one who just licked blood off your finger.
Yuri calling me weird. I have no response to that. Where do you keep your bandages? I don't think I need one actually. It was a tiny cut. Look, it already stopped bleeding. I see. That's relieving. The tension is quickly lifted. We resume our respective activities. I watch Yuri's knife cut through the ribbon like it's nothing but air. Meanwhile, I continue to make progress on the paper. After we finish attaching the paper to the ribbons, we lay them out side by side. It looks better than I expected and will be very effective as a door curtain. It looks great. Good thinking coming up with this, Yuri. Aw, thanks. It's just something I saw online, really. Are you ready to move on to the next task? Yeah, let's do it. What do you have in mind? I'd like to create a banner. That's why I asked you to buy the paint tablets. Ah, that's right. One of the items Yuri asked me to buy was a kit of watercolor paint tablets. We'll need about 6 cups of water to put each of the tablets in. Do you mind fetching those for us? Of course not. 6 cups of water. I'll be right back in a minute. Thank you very much. Oh, and just a little bit of water is okay. If you fill the cups too much, it will be too diluted. Taking Yuri's advice, I decide to use small plastic bathroom cups rather than fully-sized glasses. I put them on a plate to catch any paint that drips and bring it back into my room. Yuri? Yes? I come in to see Yuri quickly unrolling her sleeve, putting it back over her arm. Nothing. Your face is a little red. Is it too hot in here or anything? No, not at all. There's nothing wrong, so let's mix the paint. Yuri hurriedly dismisses me and takes it upon herself to unwrap the tablets, dropping them into the cups. So, I thought we would do something simple that would look very nice. I'd like to paint a gradient picture across the banner. Starting with the colors for sunrise, then daytime, then sunset, then nighttime. Once it drains, I'll write an inspirational quote across the banner. We can hang it on the wall beside the podium at the front of the classroom. Ah, neat. What are you going to write? Well, It will be more fun to surprise you. Yuri smiles at me. If you say so. After rolling out the banner, Yuri and I kneel on opposite sides so we don't get in the way of each other. Yuri uses a brush and adds a few dots of different colors across the banner to serve as a color guide when we paint. This kind of reminds me of elementary school. Painting on a banner with watercolors feels a lot like the art class projects we had back then. It's relaxing. I'm sorry if it feels too childish. No, I didn't mean that at all. It's kind of fun, you know? Yeah, it is kind of fun. I'm glad you feel that way too. Yuri stops painting for a moment, thinking to herself, for me, I don't need to go out and do crazy things to have fun. In fact, I usually don't even want to. I just like when I can spend time with one other person. Even if it's something simple like reading, it doesn't even matter if we don't talk much. Just having a friend next to me makes me feel a little bit nicer. I think that's all it takes for me to be happy. Is that so? Even if Yuri and I are quite different, I can understand where she's coming from. I feel that way about things like anime and games, where simply sharing the experience with someone can make me happy. I think I feel the same way. Yuri smiles gently. I knew you'd understand. Yuri leans over the banner to grab an unused paintbrush. But I move at the same time, causing my head to bump into hers. Kia! Sorry. Kia! Yuri reels back and quickly lifts my hand, and I quickly lift my hands in surprise. Are you hurt? No, I'm not hurt. It just startled me, that's all. Sir, I should have asked you to get it for me. It's not your fault. Your face. There are droplets of paint on Yuri's face and neck. Is there something on my face? Yeah, I accidentally got paint on you. Sorry, it's totally my fault. I'll get a towel right away. I rush out and fetch a small towel, then I dampen it with hot water. I return to my room and kneel back down in front of her. Oh. Here. I pat down Yuri's face and neck with the towel. Is something wrong? It's hot. I just didn't expect it.
Wink, wink.
Sorry. I didn't want to use cold water. Having finished, I started to retract my hand, but Yuri suddenly holds my wrist. Wait! Just for a little longer. It feels really nice. I keep my hand still against Yuri's neck. She looks into my eyes. It's an intense expression I recognize from when she reads her books. Almost as if she's lost in a daze, she enveloped by her own thoughts. She breathes gently, half through lightly parted lips. What is happening? Oh, the aroma of the jasmine oil is giving me this dizzy feeling. Yuri's gentle fingers wrapping around my wrist send a tingling sensation down my arm. And suddenly her face seems to be much closer to mine than it was just a moment ago. Yuri slowly pulls away. Sorry. I've been feeling a little lightheaded today. I didn't mean to space out. It's fine. The moment is over as soon as it began. Yuri picks up her brush again, but her movements seem clumsier, like she's unable to focus. I remain silent, forced to ignore the event that just transpired. I hesitantly retrieve my own brush and continue following Yuri's example. This should do it. Lior Slanesh is watching us with great interest. I finished filling the night sky with white dots that look like stars. Looking at the banner as a whole, it's very pretty and natural looking. I think it came out better than I expected. I'm really happy with the results. Yeah, me too. Are you going to add the lettering now? Not yet. It needs to dry first. That's true, but won't that take a while?
Good idea.
Well, perhaps it would be best to leave it here, then you have to bring it in the morning. I can do the lettering in the classroom before our event starts. Is that okay? That's totally fine. Wonderful. In that case, I don't think there's anything more for us to do here. Phew! You say that like you're glad it's over. Was I wrong to assume you're at least enjoying yourself a little bit? No, it's not that. I'm just glad you managed to get everything done. I see. I am too. I was a little concerned about time. I need to start making dinner soon. So you don't have any time left. I was secretly hoping we would have extra time after finishing the work. Well, Yuri thinks to herself. I think it would be too irresponsible of me to wait much longer. I'm sorry. I was hoping there would be more time as well. It's probably my fault. Sorry for being such a slow worker. No, it's not your fault at all. And the important thing is that we got everything done, right? Yeah. So, I shouldn't be disappointed or anything? Gathering all her things, Yuri seems to look a little downcast. I understand why. It sounded like she rarely gets the opportunity to spend time with friends in a relaxed environment. But that doesn't mean that this is the last time it can happen. Once Yuri packs up, I walk her out the front door. Thank you very much for having me today. No problem, I'm glad I was able to help. Just let me know if there's anything else you need to bring me tomorrow. I will. Well then. Yuri fidgets. I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Wait. I kind of say that without thinking. But today, it's fine that we didn't have as much time as we wanted, because we can do this again. Whenever you want, you can come over, or we can go out somewhere. I forgot, you don't like going out much. As I stumble over my words, Yuri simply smiles bashfully. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say, so you're very thoughtful, Michi-san. Yuri takes a step closer to me, then briefly squeezes my hand. I kind of like that about you. Well, how am I supposed to respond to that? But I don't even get a chance to as Yuri suddenly pulls back. Sayori? Yeah? Ah. Hi, Michi-san. Sayori? Just now, we weren't... Yeah, it's okay, Michi-san. I just stopped by to say hi. Shit in my teeth. Well, it's nice to see you. I'm sorry, but I'm already on my way to leave. Oh, really? That's too bad. I'm sorry. So, before I started the game, it said this will be disturbing for some players. And if they let me down on that, I'm going to be very upset. But we'll all be together at the festival tomorrow, so... That's fine, right? Of course. Sayori beams. Yeah, so... I'll see you tomorrow. Clearly embarrassed, Yuri hurries off. Sayori waves goodbye after her. Sayori, I thought you didn't want to come over today. Ha ha ha, well, I tried staying in my room, but my imagination was being really mean to me, so I had to come here and see it for myself. See what? What are you talking about? You know, how much fun you were having with Yuri, and how close you got to her. It makes me really happy that you've made such good friends. That's all that matters to me. Tears start to fall down Sayori's face. That's all that matters to me. Why am I feeling this way, Michi-san? I'm supposed to be happy for you. Why does it feel like my heart is splitting in half? It hurts so much. Everything hurts so much. This would be so much better if I could just disappear. Sayori, don't say that. It's true, Michi-san. If I wasn't here, then you wouldn't have to waste your sympathy on me. You wouldn't have to put up with me being selfish. Monica was right. I should just... Monica was right about what? Sayori, what I said before is true. I'm not going to let this continue. Caring about you like this isn't the burden your mind is making it out to be. It's something that makes me happy. It's something that I wouldn't trade for anything else. So even if it takes an entire lifetime, I'm going to be by your side until you don't feel any more pain. Sayori looks away. I put a hand on her shoulder to reassure her. I'm scared, Michi-san. I'm really scared. What are you scared of, Sayori? I'm scared that I might like you more than you like me. Sayori, it's true, isn't it? I was weak and started to like you too much. I did this to myself. Michi-san, I like you so much that I want to die. That's how I feel. And that's enough, Sayori. I don't want you to hurt anymore. I slide my hand down Sayori's arm and squeeze her hand in my own. Do you remember how I said I always know what's best for you? Do you still believe me? Wordlessly, Sayori nods. Even if you don't understand all your own feelings, I know what you need the most right now, and that's what I'm going to give you.
Whoa, save!
You'll always be my dearest friend. What you need most is for things to be like they've always been. Monica told me the truth. She told me how much happier you seemed after I joined the club. I know you're struggling with some really difficult things right now, but please trust me that I know what's best and will make you happy in the end. I promise I'll help get things back to the way they were. I see. Sayori forces his mouth through an incredibly pained expression. Is this what it feels like to get stabbed in the chest? I should write a poem about this. Sayori, it's okay. This is just my punishment. Remember, for being so selfish. So please don't worry about these stupid feelings. I know you're right. I knew this whole time that there's no happiness down that path. That's why I came here, just so I could get the answer I needed to hear. And the other thing, you're also right that I just want to get it back to the way it was. I realize that now. You really do know me better than anyone, Michi-san. I'll trust you with anything. Anything at all. So... Sayori's smile finally breaks. All of a sudden she turns around and drops to her knees. Clutching her head with both hands, she screams as loudly as she can. I'm so shocked that I don't know how to react. Sayori looks over her shoulder and flashes me one more weak smile before turning around and running off. Sayori! I'm left helplessly standing in the front of my house. Why am I feeling so horrible about this? There's nothing more that I could have done. The most I can do is support Sayori through her feelings and help her on the path that's right. But I'm having as much trouble understanding Sayori's feelings as she is. Even though I can comfort her, I keep wondering if I should be doing something more or something different. I know these thoughts will continue to plague me until things are back to the way they were. I'm going to give it everything I got. Sayori will always be my dearest friend, and I'll do whatever it takes to put a smile on her face every day.
Well, that seems like it was the wrong answer.
Hey, we're going after Yuri, front and center.
Yeah. I mean, actually, I have to say that I may be revising my thoughts here. I wonder if it's like not supernatural horror, but like Sayori snaps and starts going murdery kind of horror. That's
very, very likely, actually. Of all the days, I expect this to be the one where I'd walk to the school with Sayori. But Sayori isn't answering her phone. I considered going to her house to wake her up, decided that's a little too much. Meanwhile, the preparations for the event should be nearly complete. The banner Yuri and I painted is dry, and I gently hold it up to take it with me. She sent me a pleasant text reminding me to not forget anything, and I reassured her. Funnily enough, I probably feel the same way as Natsuki about the event. I'm more excited for it to be over so I can spend time with Sayori and Yuri at the festival. But I know Monica. I'm sure the event will be great too. Michi-san, you're the first one here. Thanks for being early. That's funny. At least Yuri would be here by... I thought at least the Yuri would be here by now. Monica is placing little booklets on each of the desks in the classroom. They must be the ones she prepared that have all the poems we're performing. In the end, I found a random poem online that I thought Monica would like and submitted it. So that's the one I'll be performing. I'm surprised you didn't bring Sayori with you. Yeah, she overslept again. That dummy. You'd think that on days this important she'd try a little harder. I say that, but I suddenly remember what Sayori told me yesterday. And I suddenly feel awful knowing it's not nearly that simple for her. I only said it because I know it's the way I'm used to thinking. But maybe I should have just gone to wake her up after all. You should take a little responsibility for her, Michi-san. I mean, especially after your exchange with her yesterday. You kind of left her hanging this morning, you know. Exchange? Monica, you know about that? Of course I do. I'm the club president after all. But...
That makes you totally omniscient, of course.
I stammer, embarrassed. Did Sayori really tell her about it that quickly? About I basically turned down her confession? That makes me really seem like the bad guy here. But I'm the one who knows what's best for her, right? Jeez. You don't know the full story at all, so... Don't worry. I probably know a lot more than you think. Eh? Monica's being as friendly as usual, but for some reason I felt a chill down my spine after hearing that. How do you want to check out the pamphlets? They came out really nice. Yeah, sure. I grabbed one of the pamphlets I laid out on the desks. Oh yeah, they really did. Something like this will definitely help people take the club more seriously. Yeah, I thought so too. I flipped through the pages. Each member's poem is neatly printed on a sewed page, giving it an almost professional feel. I recognized Natsuki and Yuri's poem from the ones they were performing during our practice. What's this? I flipped to Sayori's poem. It's different from the one she practiced. It's one that I haven't read before. Get out of my head, get out of my head, get out of my head, get out of my head. Get out of my head. Get out of my head before I know... Wait, get out of my head, I do what I know is best for you. Get out of my head before I listen to everything she said to me. Get out of my head before I show you how much I love you. Get out of my head before I finish writing this poem. But a poem is never actually finished. It just stops moving. Ah, what is this? Reading the poem, I get a pit in my stomach. Michi-san, what's wrong? Ah, nothing. This poem feels completely different from everything else Sayori has written. But more than that, I changed my mind. I'm going to get Sayori, so... Ah, well, alright. Try not to take too long, okay? I quickly leave the classroom. Don't strain yourself. Monica calls that out after me. I quicken my pace. What was I thinking?
Definitely too late.
I should have tried a little bit harder for Sayori. It's not a big deal to at least wait for her, help her wake up. Even the simple gesture of walking her to school makes her feel really happy. Besides, I told her yesterday that things will be the same as they always been. That's all she needs, and that's all I wanted to give her. I reach Sayori's house and knock on the door. I don't expect an answer since she's not picking up her phone either. Like yesterday, I opened the door and let myself in. Sayori! She's really is a heavy sleeper. I swallow. Is she gonna be dead or something? Please be dead or something. Come on. I need.
Yeah, I'm pretty, like, the odds are good. The odds are very good.
I can't believe I ended up doing this after all. Waking up in her own house. Isn't that more like something a boyfriend would do? In any case, it just feels right. Outside Sayori's room, I knock on her door. Sayori! Wake up, dummy. There's no response. I really didn't want to enter a room like this. Isn't it like kind of a breach of privacy? But she really leaves me no choice. I gently open the door. Ah!
Yep.
Well, I got what I wanted. But now I feel bad.
That was a bit of a jump scare.
I wanted to be murder, not suicide, okay? I'm not a horrible person.
An exception has occurred.
You guys are computer boys, what does that mean?
It's... This is part of the game, but the exception has occurred means your script broke.
What the hell? What the hell? Is this a nightmare? It has to be. This isn't real. There's no way this can be real. Sorry, I wouldn't do this. Everything was normal up until a few days ago. That's why I can't believe what my eyes are showing me. I suppressed the urge to vomit. Just yesterday, I told Sarah I would be there for her. I told her that I know it's best, and that everything will be okay. Then why? Why would she do this? How could I be so helpless? What did I do wrong? Turning down her confession, that has to have been what pushed her over the edge. Her agonized scream still echoes in my ears. Why did I do that to her when she needed me the most? Why was I so selfish? This is my fault. My swarming thoughts keep telling me everything I could have done to prevent this. If I just spent more time with her, walked her to school, and gave her what I know she wanted out of our relationship, then I could have prevented this. I know I could have prevented this. Screw the Literature Club. Screw the festival. I just lost my best friend. Someone I grew up with. She's gone forever now. Nothing I can do can bring her back. This isn't some game where I can reset and try something different. I had only one chance. And I wasn't careful enough. And now I carry this guilt with me until I die. Nothing in my life is worth more than hers. But I still couldn't do what she needed from me. And now, I can never take it back. Never. 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 What?
I think we just hit a bad ending, quote unquote.
Are you kidding me? What's this top part mean?
Also, is she pixelated for you also?
Yeah.
Huh, looks like
I don't know what this top thing is supposed to mean. I don't know. Ah!
Oh!
What happened?
She's been deleted from the game. Keep going.
That girl, me recording, my neighbor and her good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of thing you'd never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because we've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep and more frequently, I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just saw an aisle in front of the crosswalk and that iced her cord and really did catch up to me. Ah! It's an ordinary school day like any other. Mornings are usually the worst, being surrounded by couples and friend groups, walking to school together. Meanwhile, I've always walked to school alone. I always tell myself it's about time and I meet some girls or something like that. But I have no motivation to join any clubs. I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. There's always the anime club, but it's not like there would be any girls in it anyway. In school days is ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. There really aren't any that interest me. Besides, most of them would probably be way too demanding for me to want to deal with. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Michi-san? Monica? Oh my goodness, I totally didn't expect to see you here. It's been a while, right? Yeah, it has. Monica smiled sweetly. We don't know each other. Well, we rarely talk, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in the class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... What did you come in here for anyway? No, I've just been looking for some supplies to use for my club. Do you know if there's any construction paper in here? Or markers? I guess you could check the closet. You're in the debate club, right? About that. I actually quit the debate club. Really, you quit? Yeah? To be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. In that case, what club did you decide to join? Actually, I'm starting a new one. A literature club. A literature club. Literature? That sounds kind of dull. How many members do you have so far? It's kind of embarrassing, but there's only 3 of us so far. It's really hard to find new members for something that sounds so boring. Well, I can see that. But it's really not boring at all, you know. Literature can be anything. Reading, writing, poetry. I mean, one of my members even keeps her manga collection in the club room. Wait, really? Yeah, it's funny, alright? She always insists that manga is literature too. I mean, she's not wrong, I guess. And besides, a member's a member, right? Did Monica say she? Hey, Michi-san. By any chance, are you still looking for a club to join? I mean, I guess so, but in that case, is there any chance you could do me a big favor? I won't ask you to join, but if you could at the very least visit my club, it would make me really happy. Please.
You're noticing how Monica's replacing what Sayori was doing?
Yeah.
Interesting. I wonder if now's a good time to stop and take this branch later.
Sure. It doesn't even have the old save games.
Oh wow. Is this one of those games where you might have to... But let's keep some information about what has happened. Because I'm pretty sure, like, I kind of knew that when you didn't say I love you to her, she was gonna go down that route. I was not expecting this to happen, though. That's very, very strange.
Hopefully now is when it starts getting interesting.
Yeah, I'm definitely down to pick this up again.